Celebrities can't get enough of Biana's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
If there's one thing that you can count on every spring, it's that we're going to have to deal with some hail. J-Tech Construction is the company to call to make it right again. J-Tech Construction specializes in siding, roofing, windows, and gutters, even solar. They're trained for insurance claims assistance, and they can help with your insurance company. Turn to the team the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Use your favorite search engine to find J-Tech Construction online and schedule a free estimate today.
Is your concrete cracked or uneven? Hey everyone, Coach Greg McDermott here to explain why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. Many people think they need to replace broken concrete, but repairing it provides durable protection and comes at a fraction of the cost. Everlevel provides permanent repair solutions to fix your concrete and protect it against future damage, and it all comes with a long-term transferable warranty. They offer free inspections to walk you through the entire process. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time.
Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul.
Crossover. Double crossover.
Crossover continues to evolve.
All right, time for the crossover, powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Everybody's back in studio. College World Series is over. Did I see you collecting confetti and dirt last night while you were on the field?
I got one piece of confetti, yeah.
Okay. Did you put it in like a cup?
No,
some dirt.
It'll be gone. It's probably gone right now. It's in the pocket of the pants that I wore yesterday, and it'll probably get washed, and that's it. But I figured, I don't know, might as well pick one up.
You didn't hear me, but I was above you hollering at you last night, but that's okay. So when you're down by the Tennessee dugout.
It's a mad scramble out there, man.
Maybe he did hear you.
Probably
Chose
did.
not to respond.
Probably did. He was
I didn't hear anything.
Taking pictures.
What?
Yes. You were on your phone.
No.
A little shutterbug.
That doesn't sound like you.
No, no, I'm not on my phone ever.
Our guy that runs the Tennessee program,
I think that he should quit his job and become a WWE wrestling promoter. And I think that he would be great at it.
How about the dead sprint and then diving into the stands?
I think when you have the opportunity to do a stage dive, you have to take it.
It's a kind of a Lambeau leap type of feel, what he did yesterday.
Yeah, see,
that was
the Lambeau
incredible.
leap has been replaced by the Vitello.
Yeah.
Chuck Schwab leap.
I mean, that team, as we've documented pretty well here, it's a pretty high-strung team. Yeah. He's a pretty high-strung guy.
Yeah, they take their cues.
And so for it to finally be over, it's not surprising that emotion.
Well, everybody was pissed their lack of dog pile, too. They never hit the ground.
Really?
It was just a lot of jumping up and down. Like, this was a really bad dog pile because it wasn't even an actual dog pile. That, and then, of course, the best part is when he gets doused, he just starts eating the ice cubes.
That was my favorite part, too. So that happened, like, right next to me, and here comes the Gatorade bath. And then he gets the Gatorade bath, and all of a sudden he's reaching down onto the ground, grabbing the ice cubes and chomping on them.
And the guys really loved when he started eating the ice cubes. They just thought that was the greatest
that was
thing
a great move. That was an incredible move. He was on one last night. He could have said anything. He could have said anything.
So someone asked him about swearing. I guess there was the delay. If you're in the stands, so Chris Budden had a live mic on the field and she was interviewing Tony, and there's a little bit of a delay, and so he could hear his voice.
Yeah.
And that's when he went.
He goes, "Oh, bleep! I'm on TV."
Yeah, I'm on TV or on the big screen or whatever.
He also I don't know if it picked it up. We just listened back to the audio here before the show. He also said the S word in John's interview as well.
Nice.
Just instinctively, accidentally, but
that's okay.
Yeah.
Well, JJ Redick was dropping F-bombs at his Lakers,
and that's
press
totally
conference.
cool.
Yeah,
he's not trying hard at all.
No, he's just like F it, man. I don't give an F.
That was fun. I'm glad. Tennessee fans were out in full force and they got to enjoy it. I'm sure they will enjoy it for a while.
Oh,
and they're a fun team.
Oh, yes.
But I was expecting, like last year, the LSU players went out bar hopping. I have not heard any Tennessee stories this morning.
No.
Maybe it's just a younger group, hop on the bus, get back. Now, are they gone? Did they stay last night? I assume they stayed.
Yeah. So they have a big welcome home like at 3 this afternoon in Knoxville.
So they're probably taking off here shortly.
Yeah. So what are they? Probably one quick flight to Knoxville.
Yeah, 2 hour and a half, something like that.
I know that you didn't see it because you weren't watching Jeopardy last night, but I saw a TV from afar at the game. Were you watching Jeopardy last night?
No, I got 2 episodes on the DVR I gotta watch.
So apparently we had a female Sean Connery on the show last night.
Oh, really?
Suck it, Trebek.
You know
What does
when
that even mean?
you know when he was on Saturday Night, the Saturday Night Live skit, and he was like a minus $23,000.
Yeah.
There was some lady last night on the show that was minus
no.
7,200.
Oh no!
Nice.
How
Just
are you?
Stop guessing.
Yeah.
How are you that bad?
Yeah. What sound does a dog make? Moo.
I suppose once you get into like if you get past about minus 2,000, you're probably just like, I got to get out of this hole somewhere.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
gotta
start
buzz in.
going for
I
it.
got to
Yeah.
start buzzing in. You just dig the
And
hole.
you might just get an avalanche, or you it works out well and you find yourself out of it, or you just wave up a white flag and just say, "I'm good. I'm not sinking any lower."
Let's see what
It's
we
pretty
have
bad.
for Jeopardy yesterday.
I was hoping maybe she talked like Sean Connery.
Yeah, there you go. Minus 7,200 is correct.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's bad.
that is.
So the winner must have had like $30,000.
26. Yes.
Jeez.
or he. This is before Final Jeopardy, I guess. He got. I mean, not to spoil it for Josh.
It's
I know
okay,
he's got
it's
him on
okay.
the DVR, but he got the winner yesterday. Drew got 33 questions correctly, which is a season high.
That's
according
pretty good,
to
yeah.
Matt Jennings.
So if you're
I gotta
minus,
keep stats on these.
if you're
things.
minus 7,200, you don't get to play Final Jeopardy.
Correct.
Correct.
You cannot play
How
unless
embarrassing
you're
is that?
above zero. You got to be above
And
zero.
they don't like make you leave the stage.
Well,
you got to stand there, right?
No.
They do make you
make
leave.
they do.
Yeah.
They make. I'm looking
Just
at
a
the
vacant podium.
I'm looking at the video right now. It's just 3 podiums.
Oh,
and
it
one
is. That's
empty
really
one.
sad. There's one empty podium
Yeah.
smack dab in the middle.
She died. We
Yep.
have to kick her off the island.
There's
You
a medical
can't
emergency.
be here, man.
I'm sorry. You have shamed your good name. Get out of here. 7,200.
And you know, when you get back, all your friends are going to make fun of you.
Yes.
Like, oh, you idiot. And it's like, no, I got on Jeopardy. I'm really smart.
There is a process there.
Nah, you idiot.
Josh, would you ever go on Jeopardy?
I would love to. I'm not smart enough.
I could see you making some qualifying rounds there.
I've taken the anytime quiz. They don't tell you how you did on
How
it,
many?
though.
How many do you think
No.
you get right, like on a daily basis? I got a number in my head. I probably get
12 to 18.
Oh, really? Okay,
Out
that's
of
pretty
how
neat.
many?
Out of all the whole board?
Yeah.
Is
There's
it-
Yeah.
Yeah, there's probably what 60 questions or something.
I
like
guess
that?
the lower valued questions, I feel like I could answer most of those.
You know, that's without having to buzz in
Right,
and
true.
be the first
Yeah, but
one to
like
buzz in.
you have you go in
I just shout at
knowing
the TV.
that 2/3 of the categories on a daily basis are either about stuff that happened before 1700 or the Bible, and I'm out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the one that I'm choosing. And if I win a point,
yeah.
Like,
Is there a sports
Do we
category?
have sports?
See,
What
I would
about
be
food?
the anti one because usually when the sports category comes up, everybody gets on the struggle bus.
Correct.
Yep. And you kind of let that just happen.
And then you run through it with these, and you're like, "Wow, I'm the smartest person
I
alive."
feel like food.
And then they
like-
go back to the Bible stuff, and you're like, "Oh, well, I'm out."
When they do food, I feel like I could probably step up a bit too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That was always fun.
How come Sports Jeopardy has never taken off? Like, you know, they had
The
Stump
Dan
the
Patrick
Schwab.
one.
They had the Dan Patrick one
Yep.
way back in the day when Boardwalk and baseball used to exist. This is when I was really young, where the Royals used to have spring training just off of I-4 in Florida. They used to have Chris Berman would do a sports trivia show.
The War on I-4.
But sports, those shows have, like, once Stump the Schwab was out, they never, RIP.
There's definitely a lane for it.
Yes.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, big time.
There's a lane for it. I would like to see a sports trivia show for sure.
Why don't we do one on this radio station? Back in the day, we used to do total trivia on Sports Day Mid-America.
Who'd be the host?
It would be all of us.
We just rotate?
No, it'd be all of us on air.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because we all have our strengths.
We are the contestants? Or
we are. So one person would call in and try and stump us. And if they did, then we would ask them a question.
Oh, God. I would probably lose that game, too. I'd probably lose that game, too.
So they could ask us any sports.
Yeah, so they would
I'd be looking for the category that said 2014 Royals roster members.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
But back in the day, because we were on the Husker Sports Network, a lot of people called in trying to stump us with Nebraska football.
Okay.
Oh, boy, I wouldn't be good.
But if you stumped us, then for you to win, we asked you a question. And if you got it right, then you won whatever the prize was.
All right.
If it was like post 2015 Huskers, I might do okay. But compared to most people,
what's where did you say your Husker trivia begins?
Like how if I were to be put in a Jeopardy setting,
yes,
of Nebraska football knowledge, my wheelhouse would probably be in the last 10 years.
Okay.
And then obviously still pretty good post 2000.
I feel like more of my lasting memories are when it would have been in the 90s when I was growing up and actually an impressionable young boy.
Right.
Is where I really do.
That's where it always
recall
starts.
a lot of the detail. And then things that have happened since, like, it's kind of hit or miss as far as what sticks and what
about
doesn't.
Your Creighton basketball trivia?
Oh, I'd do pretty good there.
How far back do you think you could go?
Same thing. Post 2000. Yeah, like Corver and on.
No Harstead and Gallagher?
Unfortunately, no. Unfortunately, no.
Porter Mosier?
Unfortunately,
Rod
no.
Swain?
I'm
really have.
I'm 32, I think. Yeah, 32. And so I remember going to games of the Civic, but that's like
you remember the popcorn more.
I remember the smells.
Yeah, the smells.
Is this the Rick Johnson era?
If they could add
arena
it was
smells.
Dana. Yeah, if there was a category that said what did the Civic smell like in 2004, I'd be like, yes, or 2002.
Popcorn, beer, and the occasional urinal.
What is piss and stale beer, Alex?
Funnel cakes.
Hey, don't kid yourself. There are times.
There was a funnel cake.
There
smell,
are
you're
times like during the Metro High School basketball tournament, I miss the smell of the Civic.
Absolutely.
Sure,
no,
yeah.
it's the smells. It's always the smells. The smells stick with you.
I got to play the Civic at the holiday tournament. I loved it.
Civic Auditorium was very underrated.
It was.
Oh no, it was horrible.
No.
Hockey.
Hey, it is
the best hockey venue.
The best venue that Omaha hockey has played in
Yes, it
was
is.
the Civic Auditorium.
It is.
That is true. That is true.
It was loud. It just the auditorium itself felt aggressive. It was great. It was perfect for it.
There has been no better home for the
I
Omaha
like
Metro
that,
High School basketball tournament than the Civic Auditorium.
Sat Fieldhouse?
Nope.
Really?
Ooh.
Oh, I would take Civic Auditorium over Sat
I would
Fieldhouse
too.
any day.
I mean,
don't
just
even know.
as a building, yes, but for the Metro tournament, I don't know.
I don't know. Civic was pretty fun, especially when you actually got to the Metro Championship and there was full. Full, I should say, but there was a lot of people there, and you had the students involved. That was fun. Now
kids don't go to sports.
We had
games
like
anymore.
the 9 a.m. game against Burke, and they just put some random. I think they just put a radio station on for the music. So we're warming up. I swear to you, we were warming up to Michael Bolton, When a Man Loves a Woman.
Hell yeah!
And we're like, this is strange. But
sick.
But then we're dribbling and we could feel like the floor bouncing. And we're like, this is so cool yet weird. But it was just the experience.
See, when did the Metro tournament leave the Civic?
When they
tore it down.
So it was the last year. Okay, I thought maybe it got out early.
But they didn't tear it down till what, 2011, 12, somewhere in that range.
It was one of the maybe 13.
Yeah.
I think I went to the last year of the Metro tournament at the Civic.
Let's see. When did we wrecking ball the Civic Auditorium? June 2014 it closed, then demolished 2016.
It was just cool because we'd have
weird. What you said? 2016.
2016 demolished, but 2014 closed.
8 years later, all it is a grass space.
Yeah,
still
Civic Auditorium and the music hall.
And you think of all the memories that were there. But yeah, it was. You'd have the
Parking garage
3-day
still.
moratorium, and then you'd play, and you'd have a full day of it.
Usable?
Everybody got to play there, so it didn't matter how bad you were if you were a first-year program at Millard West. And
Did you graduate at Civic Auditorium?
No, we didn't. We graduated at the SAP.
I graduated at the Civic Auditorium.
We graduated. My brothers did at Millard South, but we graduated. We were a small enough class. We were the second graduating class at Millard West, so we were at the SAP.
Josh, did you graduate at the Civic Auditorium?
No, I graduated at Burke Football Stadium.
Ah,
oh, you had an outdoor. Damn,
like an adult.
Wow, that is pretty baller. Outside.
Now all the kids get to go graduate at Baxter.
Yep.
Texter writes in.
Hi, Texter.
I went to a Korn concert at the Civic in 2002, and it kind of smelled like pot.
Well, yeah.
I think it's just a regular concert. But trust me, after all the pot got out, it smelled like funnel cakes again.
And your shoes stuck to the floor. And also, if you were a bigger fella, the seats kind of squeezed you a little bit.
Whatever happened to the ramps? Remember, they don't do ramps anymore.
Nope, they do not.
Remember, every stadium and every arena in the world had a giant ramp. There's no more ramps.
Arrowhead.
Denver still has a ramp too.
The K has ramps.
The K has ramps. The circular ramps.
I don't know if Soldier Field no, Soldier Field does.
They still have a ramp?
Yep, they still have a ramp. Denver does.
Give me big ramp.
Yeah, big ramp. So then especially when you're leaving and you're winding around and you can hear
great.
everyone's chants if they won. And, it's fun.
Kind of.
It's wide.
Kind of Memorial Stadium has a ramp.
They have a smaller walkway.
Yeah.
Yes. But definitely no escalators. Maybe in Trev's world, we'd had some escalators. But
can you imagine what the Civic would have been like if Creighton basketball was? Now, they would still be playing there if they were in the Big East, but like we're at the level they're at now, but playing in that venue.
It would be a kind of Big East arena. Like it would be kind of
like Providence.
Yeah.
It would almost be like
they would have had to have done a lot to it. Obviously,
yeah, they would have to. Well,
it wouldn't feel
expand it.
It wouldn't feel. I don't know if they would have had to make it much bigger, but they would have had to make it a lot more convenient, obvious, and updated the lights and the sights and all of the signage in the building. Like they would have updated all of that. But Creighton basketball would feel nowhere near the same if they played in that building. But
it'd be a heck of a home court advantage.
Oh God, yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, but they already have. I mean, they have a great home court advantage right now.
It'd be really loud, like deafening loud.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't say
horribly loud. Imagine you bringing in UConn to play at the Civic.
Yeah, oh gosh,
you want to you want to talk about an environment
and the proximity of the fans to the benches. Danny Hurley might be in trouble there.
What if
he might actually go through with the threat?
No, it's a grass space now that nobody uses. I think they're probably scared to go stand on it because it might smell like funnel cakes again. But like
or pot.
Who
kicks
knows?
Up the funnel cake smell.
But like if that building was still sitting there and generally kept up, like what if they did just a one-off? Hey, let's go night at the Civic. The Chai's got a concert coming.
Packed.
Yeah, it'd be loaded.
Yes,
it'd be like Nebraska volleyball going back to the Coliseum for a night.
Well, that was the coolest thing when they did when Omaha Hockey was playing at CenturyLink, CHI Health or whatever. State Wrestling was there, so they had to move their Notre Dame series to the Civic Auditorium.
Badass.
And holy hell, that was amazing. And it brought everybody back to when the games were permanently at the Civic Auditorium. So then you had to go there one weekend out of the year to accommodate state wrestling, and it was people would forget. And even one of the players said this. They said
it's cool.
This is the best venue.
It's cool as a one-off.
We'd rather play in this venue.
It's obviously horrible, but like it's great as a one-off
from an atmosphere standpoint.
Yes.
It crushed. Even when they would get 12,000 every now and then at a game, they would try to ramp up the attendance and do like a ticket package type thing or a ticket deal. 12,000 at CHI Health Center compared to a banged out Civic it wasn't even close.
Steve just sent us a picture of the ramps.
I saw that
before. Look at those ramps. Look at how wide the ramps are. You could yell at the people 3 floors down from you. Hey,
you could. You see me? I know you can hear me.
You could roll a ball
Now,
down the ramp.
I never saw.
You could.
I never saw a concert in there. I only saw sporting events. Did you guys ever see a concert?
I did, yeah. Yeah, I saw Metallica there.
Probably.
I'd never seen a concert at the Civic. No.
How was it for music?
It was good. Yeah, it was really,
Where
really
did they
good.
put the stage at?
Elvis was there.
I know.
That's right. People forget.
Elvis, I remember.
You don't
died.
remember Elvis.
No, I don't remember.
This is one of Elvis's last shows.
That was
It
one that
was.
was talked about a lot. Yes.
Yeah.
I remember that being there. I think like even Nickelback was there before.
Hell yeah.
Before people canceled them.
Like they don't even have like a marker that here's where the Civic Auditorium.
No,
was, do they?
I don't know. It should be a historical landmark.
See?
there.
Do they not? Do they not have a sign out front?
I don't think they
I don't
do.
think so this goes back. So I got cornered by Chattel during the College World Series because he wants to have a Omaha Sports Hall of Fame. And I guess they
Smart.
approach the airport.
Do we not?
No, we do not have an Omaha Sport. They
Like
want to
a
have
physical Hall
like
of
a
Fame.
physical Hall of Fame.
Oh,
We have
okay.
people that are in it,
Yeah.
but they want to have like a physical.
Okay.
Great idea.
Like you would
Civic.
include. Look at all the stuff you could include from the Civic.
It's got to be by the baseball stadium, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like,
well, okay, so they approach the airport, putting it at the airport,
Oh wow.
and they're like, we got a lot of stuff going on right now. We don't have time to.
It doesn't
Yeah.
need to be at the airport.
Yeah.
no.
No, the San Diego Sports Hall of Fame is at the airport.
That's
in San
Is
stupid.
the
Diego.
chicken in there?
Yes.
Okay.
Should
Wait a minute.
Yeah,
Why
should
don't
be
you
one
think
of
it
the
should be
first
at the
things.
airport?
I don't when it's an airport.
People land that come to your city. They see the Omaha Sports Hall of
Sports Hall
Fame.
of
They
Fame.
can go drive to the Sports Hall of Fame. It's right up the street downtown.
Put it in between the airport and the baseball stadium.
Every time, so as an
There's
Omaha, and
something
every
that
time I want to
already
go,
exists there, Josh.
As
There's
an
a hotel
Omaha-
and an establishment.
every time I want to go to the Sports Hall of Fame, I have to go to the airport. No,
Well,
no.
Well,
That's
it's not for
stupid.
you. It's for our visitors.
No, it's for me. I live here.
so maybe like if they get the soccer stadium, they'll put the Omaha Sports Hall of Fame in the soccer
There
stadium.
you go. That's good.
So you could include, because didn't we had this discussion on a crossover? Part of the Kansas City Kings, Omaha Kings floor still exists.
Yes. I've been told
Somebody's got it, but the old floor from the Civic that was the Jays floor is at
It's
Mama's.
at Mama's Pizza. The one
Yeah.
on
Like all of it?
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
on the west,
Really?
the West Omaha one, the one over on Pacific. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The whole thing.
Well, the center court
the
part.
center
The
court.
center
Yeah.
court, you know that
Center
old,
court
that,
logo,
that,
yeah.
one-
Old
that,
Billy.
that old Jays.
Yeah.
Oh, with the
script.
basketball.
Yeah, old
Yeah.
school, old J.
So they've got the center court,
That's cool.
but
Yeah, it is pretty neat.
you could have stuff from the Civic Auditorium in there. Like you could have all the beer cups that when you would go to watch the Rick Johnson Creighton teams, and it would be like
All lined
cheap
up.
beer night, and the dasher boards.
Yeah.
So people tell stories about when Creighton wasn't very good under Rick Johnson, and there were very few people in the building. That on cheap beer night, people would make their own beer snakes right behind the Creighton bench.
Before beer snakes were even a thing. I didn't know what it was.
I know. The Civic probably created beer snakes.
Oh man, there was the rowdiness of the crowds. And even some of the Crane games I went to when I was younger. Wow, this is crazy. It's great.
Also, famously, the Civic Auditorium, home to the 1988 vice presidential debate.
Oh, wow.
Between
Was it?
Lloyd Benson and Dan Quayle.
Of course.
Oh yeah. Lloyd Benson.
Senator, I served Jack Kennedy. I knew Jack Kennedy. Jack Kennedy was a friend of mine. Senator, you're no Jack Kennedy. That happened at the Civic Auditorium.
Omaha Racers.
Didn't it was Admiral? He was an admiral, right? Didn't he have a tough time hearing? No, like it just in general, not at the Civic. I just remember him having a tough time hearing. Like what?
Who? Lloyd Benson?
Yeah. Can you repeat that? I'm pretty sure this is a thing.
The article,
Benson hard of hearing.
the article in the story the
I
next
was
day.
9.
Lloyd Benson couldn't hear during the debate.
Was it?
Blames Civic Auditorium. No.
I thought it was. Like, I knew it. I was 9, but I just remember that being kind of a punchline of like the guy can't hear.
Amazing Daniel says Hanley's thinking of Perot's running mate.
Who was that? Who was Perot's running mate? He's right. It was Ross Perot's. God,
wouldn't be prudent. No, that's Bush. That's Bush.
Yeah, that was. You say the name and I'll back. Yeah,
James Stockdale.
Stockdale, yeah, Admiral Stockdale. Yes,
Admiral
thank you. Admiral
Stockdale.
Stockdale. Yeah, he was like, what? Repeat that, please.
They did not do a debate at the Civic. Is that what we're to
apparently
understand?
Apparently, they did not.
Okay.
Hey, how were the Omaha Knights games at
They,
the Civic
they were
for
fun.
hockey?
They were fun.
Yeah.
I was the PA announcer there.
Let's
Hello.
go.
Yeah. No, they were. The second year they made the playoffs, and I remember FNBO having their FNBO night, so it was almost packed. It was pretty good. but most times there wasn't a lot of people there.
So
And they
let's see
charged a lot.
So we had the Omaha Beef played there, the Slaughterhouse.
Yeah.
They had the Omaha Knights AHL team.
Yep.
But then they have indoor soccer.
Yeah, they did. Didn't really take off. I don't remember the team, but yes, they did have that there.
So
Omaha hockey, Creighton basketball,
Omaha Racers at one point.
Omaha Vipers.
Really?
Were the Racers,
The Racers
at the
played there?
Civic?
The Vipers were the
I thought
soccer
the Racers
team.
were
at
just Exarban.
Exarban, yeah. Maybe.
Yeah,
I'm
Vi-
conf- I'm
Vi-
Oh,
confusing
and the
those.
Lancers played there.
Yep, the Lancers did play there for
Were
a
the
little bit.
Lancers the last tenant?
Yes, I
the
think.
Civic?
The Beef might have been.
The Lancers were there until 2012, as were the Beef.
Okay.
And then they moved to Ralston or whatever.
Yeah. Now they have orange turf,
Hell yeah.
but they've won back-to-back titles. So what do we know?
Hell yeah. Look at that. Civic Auditorium. Okay, so we get some text here. Happer's Beam Guy put the Sports Hall of Fame in the same parking lot as Spearmint Rhino, so the College World Series media can have easy access to it. Good idea. Jesse says saw Red Hot Chili
Second
Peppers.
convenience.
Red Hot Chili Peppers at the Civic.
Yep.
They love the gas station name Come and Go.
That's probably a true story.
Brian says better old venue, Civic or Rosenblatt.
I mean,
It's
Rosenblatt.
not. It's not the Civic.
Rosenblatt, but Civic had its things. It had its things.
Also, poll question: after all the pot got out, did it smell like funnel cakes again?
I like it.
I could always smell hot dogs. Man, it smelled like hot dogs all the time. There was a lot of hot dogs.
The concourses, man, were so small.
I just think we need to bring back the ramps. Who has the ramps from the Civic Auditorium?
Someone just has the ramps in a store.
If Mama's Pizza has the floor, who has the ramps?
I believe Tickets for Less has it hanging above their building.
Yeah,
Just a big ramp.
Big
What a
concrete slab
great-
that is working its way to who knows.
It's a perfect design feature of buildings that were built during that period of time.
Yep.
Let's just build giant ramps.
Yeah.
We're going to herd all these people in like cattle.
It was great.
More ramps, less escalators, more ramps.
Well, all those circular ballparks like Riverfront, Three
Yes.
Rivers, Shea,
Giant
they were all-
ramps.
giant
Big
ramps.
ramps.
You just kept walking and
Big
walking
fancy
and
ramps.
walking.
You can get off at the third floor. You
Yeah.
can get off at the 12th
Yeah, if
floor.
you're wondering where your section is, am I on this floor? Nope. Okay, I got to keep going one more.
How close to the sun would you like to sit today? Take the last exit on the ramp. That's the 800 level.
I'm actually kind of surprised with the renovations that they've made a Mile High that they still have a ramp. But as of 2019, they did still had a ramp.
Love it.
Man, we used to have Rosenblatt, the Civic, and Exarban all at the
We used to
same
be a
time. in
proper
this town.
What did they
Society.
do to the Rosenblatt elevator, the press elevator? That was the slowest
moved it-
thing.
the whole
They
elevator
moved
moved- they moved to the new
they moved
stadium.
to
Yeah.
Charles Schwab Field.
Yeah.
That was the slowest elevator.
Are we sure?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
it was way worse than even the Chuck.
it's pretty rough over there.
Nobody would even take it anymore because they realized even how hot it was that they would make it in half the time by just going up the stairs. And it was only two stories. Yeah, that
there wasn't many exits on that.
that thing was terrible. And then it got to a point there towards the end that you wondered if it'd even work. If you got in there, if you're going to be trapped in there for the entire evening. So
Did you have to figure out like, okay, that's going to be the P corner?
you got to establish a P corner. Josh, come on. Especially if you're hydrated.
Got to get your game plan before you
That's
get
right.
in.
That's right. This will be the P corner.
Hot take. I'm actually good with the arena setup that we have right now in Omaha.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm actually.
Are you?
Yeah,
You don't want to get we get nostalgic.
Oh,
about
it's very
Rosenblatt
fun to
all the
remember.
time.
Got
You don't
three
want to get
arenas in
nostalgic
this
about
town.
Civic.
We have 100 arenas in this town. Ask Josh Hodson.
So many arenas. Why do we need the Steel House?
It's the Steel House again.
He principally hates the Steel House because it's Omaha's 14th arena.
It's not even in the top 10 of Omaha arenas.
Would you put the Astro in there?
I know that's a thing. I don't know what it is.
What do they call the
It's
old?
it's the new outdoor amphitheater.
Yeah, indoor, outdoor over there
Yeah.
in La Vista.
what do they
Yeah,
call the
it's
place that used to
unnecessary.
be the Sokol?
The Admiral.
Admiral.
The Admiral.
The Admiral.
Ted Carter.
Well,
Didn't need to
okay.
change the name.
So
Ted Carter.
No, not at all.
I had completely forgot about this until I saw an ad. The amphitheater, the Sumter Amphitheater,
Sumter,
still
yeah.
exists.
Yeah, it does.
Oh yeah.
So La Vista has 2
They do.
amphitheaters.
They do. Yes, Josh, they do. Do you have thoughts on this?
Hey, Sarpy County is flush with
Vista
cash.
Yeah.
population.
Sarpy County's fun.
16,379.
I don't know if you know this, Josh, but Sarpy County's a good time.
Fun.
It's fun.
Shopping.
Sports action.
There is an amphitheater for every 8,000 people that live in La Vista.
It's a good ratio.
How
Gonna get those numbers up.
Okay, so how many of these venues have you been to? You've been to the Chai.
I
You've
have.
been to Baxter.
I have.
You've been to Ralston.
I have.
Okay. Have we been to the Admiral?
No.
Does the Mac count? Back at the Mac?
I've
Mac.
been back to the Mac.
Oh.
Have you seen
Yeah,
Trans-Siberian Orchestra there? Because they put on a show. They sure do.
I saw Styx, Scenario, Speedwagon, and 38 Special there once.
Hell
The
yeah.
At the Mac.
Yeah,
That
at the
sounds
Mac.
like a
It
good Mac
was
show right
sick.
there.
Yeah.
I saw the Black Eyed Peas there.
Nice.
Yeah, Fergie was crying.
What
It was
happened?
weird.
They used to. I saw Tom Petty there. Tom
Okay.
Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Pearl Jam performed there.
What happened to the Mac?
Mac
What
was
happened to the Mac?
the Mac was the cat's pajamas at one point. It was a thing.
Cat's pajamas.
It was.
All right, I'm going to the Mac's Wikipedia page now. Let's see if it's famous events.
Omaha, Lincoln Stars winning the Clark Cup there.
That's right, because the Lancers were
Yeah,
there for a
Lancers.
little bit.
So then they changed.
River
Remember,
City
they were the
Lancers.
River City Lancers.
That's right.
What a mistake.
The Omaha Roller Girls were tenants of that arena.
They had an Arena Football League team for like 4 days this year.
That's right.
Yeah, the Iowa Rampage. Is that what
Think
we're
so.
referring to?
R.I.P.
Yeah.
Sad.
They would play. Oh no, the Civic actually used to host this. Remember when the Barnstormers would play the Arizona Rattlers in Arena 1? People got to see Kurt Warner play
That's right.
for the Iowa Barnstormers.
Wasn't that depicted in the Kurt Warner movie?
I bet probably
American
was.
Underdog.
But I bet they didn't spend any time on the Civic Auditorium at all.
Mac.
I don't remember it. No.
The features of the Mid-America Center as follows: 30,000 square feet, pillar-free, by the way, 12 luxury suites, 2 party rooms.
It was also air conditioning free when I was there a couple weeks ago.
That's called environmental
They have
sustainability, Josh.
Comic-Con there or something?
Yes, Omaha
Yeah.
Comic-Con is there.
Yeah.
Nice.
I was there to see my close personal friend Jeff Jarrett.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. He was a big fan of the Mac. He's ready to go.
Love the Mac.
The Mac was getting some good acts at one point.
Brian says that Sarpy County has another amphitheater in Gretna by the new baseball complex north of the outlets.
Huh?
Wait, what?
I don't know this to be the case. I have no idea.
What did he say? Can you say that again?
The new baseball complex north of the outlets.
Oh,
There's
okay.
an amphitheater in there.
I didn't know there's an amphitheater.
I
but
didn't know there was a
that-
baseball complex.
Yeah, it's kind of by that.
So
well, it's right
is this
by
by
that
Big Lake?
For every
it's by that new
6,000
water park.
residents in Sarpy
Is it a
County,
Wives
they
going
get
to put a huge water park or something there?
No idea.
Yeah, there's a new baseball complex there. It's got like it might be underselling, but I thought
Hey,
it has at
Jess.
least 4 fields.
We just like building a lot of
Oh, yeah.
things.
We like to build things.
A
We're
lot-
builders.
A lot of youth sports complexes going up in all different areas.
That's damn
It's
right.
a big deal. It's a big deal, man.
Jasker Todd says, by the way, little known, Foo Fighters opened for the Chili Peppers in 2000 at the Civic and blew them off the stage.
I'm sure they did. Civic memories. What do people have more fond memories in Omaha? Civic memories or Ranch Bowl memories? Because Ranch Bowl memories are pretty good too. There's some
Yeah, I don't
really
think
good
Ranch
concerts.
Bowl is a standalone.
Yeah, it's its thing.
I'd like to see some pictures from the Elvis concert, one of the last Elvis concerts.
Yeah, Matt said I should never put Nickelback and Elvis in the same conversation.
This
ever
was
again.
like, I mean, we're talking about a week before he died, right? Like in the neighborhood of, he did like one more show in South Dakota and like that was it.
Yeah, if I remember right, it was his next to last show.
Could we have been one of his last meals? No.
And they did the concert
He went to
special.
Broncos.
They did.
That's what did it.
They did the they did the
He went to
concert.
Broncos.
I think he could have survived the Broncos. They did a CBS TV special, Elvis in concert, that was filmed at the Civic.
Whoa.
One of his last shows, and then I think if I remember right, I read this Wikipedia page a long time ago, but they held it. They were going to put it out, and then he died.
Yeah.
And then I think they ended up releasing it in a different kind of format.
What is
later.
the event rate at Mid America Center? Now you guys got me curious about that because the only thing I know that is
Not much.
ever there annually is that Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Not much. I think it's every other weekend they have a spa sale in the parking lot.
Maybe a craft show here and there.
It's whatever your blackjack winnings are at the horseshoe?
Yeah, I don't think they have a lot of stuff going through there.
That's too bad. You know, they even have suites there.
Calendar.
2 suites, I heard.
They got suites.
Very good.
Yeah.
They're ahead of their time.
I'm not sure why that needed to be built, but
no, but it is, and it was, and it still is there.
They took away our dog track and built an arena.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I'm reading this Elvis in concert page.
Is it riveting?
I mean, it's just interesting, right? So it was filmed. They filmed here in Omaha, and then they filmed in Rapid City, which ended up being his last concert. And then he died shortly afterwards. They released it in October. These concerts took place in June, right around this time, 1977. And then they released it in June, or I'm sorry, in October that year. Unlike the majority of Elvis's programs, it is unlikely to be commercially released on home video and is only available in bootleg form.
Oh, we need a bootlegger.
This is because it showed Elvis near the end of his life when he was in poor health due to various hereditary ailments.
Well, didn't he?
And overuse of many prescribed medications.
Okay, and a certain sandwich that he ate a lot too.
Much of his performance reflects his poor health.
Oh, so he did not tear down the roof at the Civic?
Not according to this Wikipedia page.
Yeah, didn't you see Elvis? Austin Butler
I'd like to
was up
find
there?
this on.
Okay.
Okay, stop.
Chris says the biggest thing the Mac ever had, Cher's final concert ever.
Oh,
it was
really?
even broadcast on NBC on delay.
What?
The Mac got that
Wow.
one?
That was not in the Wikipedia
It's like
page.
Snoop performing in Lincoln on 420. It's like, how the heck did we get so lucky with that?
We got to
one?
Google this. Cher's
Really?
last concert.
That couldn't have been that long ago, right?
She closed her farewell tour in April 2005 at the Hollywood Bowl. So,
Wow, this is a very long tour. Wow.
Yeah, I thought she was back out touring.
Yeah, wow. Interesting.
Well, you know, everyone says it's their last tour, and then
That's true. Did they decide to? Yeah.
Cher is still with us,
she
right?
performed. Yes.
Okay.
She performed in Council Bluffs on April 18th, 2005.
Okay.
And then played 4 shows in Canada, and then 2 in LA, and called it a career.
Wow. So, like the 8th to last show.
Yeah.
Speaking of landmarks,
I hope that's on the marquee.
Home of Cher's 8th to last.
8th to last. It wasn't even the penultimate.
There were the Village People were also on the bill that night.
Oh, cool.
There
Whoa,
were 6
the Village People and Cher?
Yeah.
Where the hell was I?
There were
Jeez.
Talk about
6,800
smells.
people in attendance. It grossed $471,420.
That's it.
All right.
For that night at the Mac.
Yeah.
Damn.
Can you imagine the scene? You guys think the scene around the Chuck's been crazy this week? Can you imagine that 24-hour cycle? Oh my God.
There would have been Jello shots.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Wow.
All right. Well, enjoy your memory. I hope we get more throughout today's show, but just sit on that, enjoy the memories.
What's it gonna take to get you into the Steel House? You want to go to a show?
I mean, they have a number of very good acts coming.
You have to understand when Josh takes a principled stance.
Yes.
Yachtly Crew ain't going to get me to the Steel House.
I like that.
I don't
Yachtly Crew.
I don't know what a Charles Wesley Godwin is, but he's there tomorrow night.
Is there really a Yachtly Crew?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Yacht
Friday.
A Yacht Rock and
Yeah.
Motley Crue
You
Yacht
have to
Rock.
see. They have on the marquee the
Yeah.
advertisement. Yeah, it's everything you would think of guys that play yacht rock music.
Hell yes.
Collective Soul.
Ooh,
Now there you go.
I like
A
Collective
Fleetwood
Soul.
Mac cover band.
They are really good. That's who I saw. They're fake Fleetwood Mac.
Rob Schneider's daughter,
What?
Elle King.
Oh,
People forget.
I would like one day
Dane Cook.
your ranking of sports / music venues in this area.
Yeah, Josh's top 5. That sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
Actually. By the way, here's a great memory from TC. He remembers the day that Elvis died, August 16th, 1977. Man, Coach Boswick had me running pole to pole because I made a comment / joke at football practice at good old Power Park for Lil Vikes football. Then because we only had 3 channels, they were running Elvis movies every night. LOL. Peace, TC.
I remember. Oh, so Power Park, that's right by the OPB.
Oh, yeah,
over
that's still around.
on your way to the airport. And then, yeah, Little Vikes. I remember the Little Vikes.
Little Vikes were a wagon.
Little Vikes.
What?
North Omaha
As a
Bears
little
and the
kid,
Panthers.
What Elvis joke could you make?
I don't know. TC, what was the comment / joke?
yeah.
That's it. You're running.
Don't stop till I tell you to.
Go all the way to the power plant and back.
Make sure you wear that helmet, though.
Good memories.
Fantastic.
All right. How about that College World Series?
Oh, what a time. I love it. Great venue, great place, great people.
Venue.
That's the crossover. Powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. We'll start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. You get a lot of junk in your inbox. This one, not junk at all. 1620 The Email. Exclusive content, contests, other stuff probably. Subscribe today at 1620thezone.com. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday, hot and humid with a heat advisory beginning at 1 p.m. going until 7 o'clock. Feels like temperatures up to 95 with an air temperature high today in Omaha of 98. Southeasterly winds remain light, 3 to 6 miles an hour. A chance of storms this evening and tonight, a couple of which may become severe with large hail and damaging winds. Partly cloudy overnight, warm with a low of 68. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Omaha Farmers Market offers the city's best selection of farm fresh, locally grown produce every Saturday in the Old Market from 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. and every Sunday in Exarban Village from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Enjoy the bountiful season of locally grown and handmade goods. Get the city's best selection of fresh produce, herbs, meat, and more. To keep up with what's in season, visit omahafarmersmarket.org or follow them on Facebook and Instagram. Sponsored by KETV Channel 7.
How do you celebrate the expansion of Lindley Clothing with the addition of Well Suited? Well, you have a BOGO 50% off sale. Right now, Lindley Clothing, buy one, get one 50% off sale on suits and sports coats. Buy one suit or sports coat at regular price and get a suit or sport coat of equal or lesser value at 50% off. Now, the sale is going on now, but it ends with a bang on July 3rd. If you haven't been to Lindley Clothing, get there now and check out Well Suited as well. More sizes, more styles, more selection. In the Linden Market at 132nd and West Dodge, you'll enjoy easy access to Lindley Clothing.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer, Expedition, and more. Plus, all our vehicles come with fair, transparent pricing and no dealer fees. So you only pay for the vehicle, not the paperwork. Get started at BaxterFord.com.
The dangers of secondhand smoke are well known, but what about secondhand aerosol, which is created when using e-cigarettes? Science already shows a secondhand aerosol can contain nicotine, heavy metals, and cancer-causing agents. Eliminating exposure to secondhand aerosol is an important step to keeping everyone safe. Breathe easier knowing the facts.
For help quitting, call the Nebraska Tobacco Quit Line, 1-800-QUIT-NOW, 1-800-784-8669. Paid for by Tobacco Free Nebraska. Aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Funplex has asked me to give you a first-hand account of the all-new for 2024 Wipeout attraction.
Okay, hit it.
We're starting up. Spinning a little now. Whoa, a lot.
The centrifugal force is starting to stretch my face. Holy this thing's fast. Whoa, it's tilting. We have tilting. Woohoo! This is awesome. You got to try this. Get your tickets now at fun-plex.com.
It's the Connor Happer Show. Are we sure we want to do this?
Could you, make an announcement that we're ready?
It's the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, welcome in. Happy Tuesday. It's the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you. Clear from the College World Series, which ended last night in very tense form. Tennessee winning a national championship. We will talk about that today, and we'll talk about it with Allan Bell. Will join us at 11:30. Jacob Bigelow at 1 o'clock.
He already has a shirt. Allan Bell does.
Oh, how did he get that so fast?
I don't know.
Man, one takeaway from the College World Series is that there are so many shirts.
Great take.
Maybe I would say now I love all of our entrepreneurial shirt makers around here. And we love when they make shirts just for random occurrences or things that people are saying and stuff like that. But Josh, I might say that there are too many shirts.
That's a bold take.
There are too many shirts. There's a shirt for anything. There's a shirt for anything. Just that one, just a one pitch, one time, one thing, one situation. There's just a shirt for everything. That's my starting take of the day today. So Jacob Bigelow will join us at 1 o'clock, and we'll get an appearance from Max Olson today of The Athletic. I'll talk some college football, and he was at the College World Series as well. We'll wrap that thing up with him at 12:30 today. Maybe a little baseball overreaction as well. And that's the lineup. Powered by the Referees. John Higgins, Weather Guard. Want to hear from you guys. 402-951-1620 on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. You can call or text that number. Tweet at Happer Show, at Connor Happer on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Many of you sharing your memories at the Civic Auditorium or any of Omaha's begone arenas and venues.
Please keep those coming.
Please continue to do that. I love that. I'll definitely get one like later for a person who's listening back on the podcast. Like, here, I have this, and I'll really enjoy it. So even send those on.
Yes, it will not be too late,
even if it's later. So tweet at us there. You can email the Equitable Bank inbox, Connor or Josh O at 1620thezone.com. And we invite you to comment along with us on the YouTube stream, YouTube 1620 The Zone TV, or of course, conveniently located at zonetv.live. I typed in zonetv.live this morning, and bang, there was Gary and Nick. They were talking to Sam McEwen.
Oh,
and I thought, man, I got to hear Sam's takes on things, even though I just got him yesterday. Boom, and it was right there. zonetv.live. Theo says, Happer Show dominated the CWS. Take a victory lap, fellas.
Well,
let's go, Theo.
If the people demand it, who are we to say no?
I think we've taken enough victory laps, but we'll, of course, recap last night and some of the takeaways that we have out of the sport and then, of course, the game from last night. A couple other things I want to talk about today. JJ Redick, I don't know if we'll get to this, but it seems like he's kind of trying real hard. I don't know. I'm not sure about this guy, Josh.
But I'm
not sure.
He's trying too hard not to be a good coach, but I don't care.
He talks about how he doesn't care about social media, but then he's got this quote that that is specifically made. Like, do you think he went into the press conference yesterday saying, "I'm going to say the F word during this press conference"?
Yes,
I do too. So we might talk about that during the show. The Panthers of Florida ruined a great story and won the Stanley Cup. Lord Stanley back where it belongs in hot, sunny Florida.
It's in the ocean this morning.
Oh, really? They dumped it in there?
Some of the players dove into the ocean with it.
Very cool. We'll talk about Texas's baseball coaching board.
How's your hot board looking today?
Oh, boy. We'll hear from Jim Schlossnagel from last night, who was not very happy with the fact that somebody asked him about it and then walked away and left.
Whoever could have seen that coming.
I'd also like to bring back a comment that Matt Rule had last week comparing what they do in recruiting and evaluation to Ohio State. I think this comment has gone under talked about over the last 6 or 7 days here. And I'd like to bring it up today on the show. So we will do that as part of a Tuesday edition of the Connor Happer Show. But of course, we can get to this coming up next. We're headed into all eyes now after the College World Series here locally. Of course, all eyes pointed to Memorial Park display at the end of the week. Shout out.
Is that Friday?
Shout out Roger Daltrey. Oh yeah, they're getting the stuff all set up down there right now. Josh seems excited.
Oh boy.
Josh, you seem excited.
I just don't think people of a certain age should be sitting outside all day
Well,
like that.
it's going to be lovely this weekend. It's going to be lovely. It won't be 150 degrees like it was last night.
Okay.
It'll be fine. These people are tough, Josh. You don't give the generation enough credit.
They are the greatest generation.
The greatest generation. But after Memorial Park display, of course, we shift our eyes toward the college football video game and all the content that's coming out. So each Tuesday they're doing various releases. Today was the toughest places to play on the game. And guess who's not on there?
Nebraska.
You got it. Predictably so.
Engagement farming by EA Sports.
Of course, as always. I'd like to see where Nebraska might rank on Saturday, September 7th. Tell me that's not a tough place to play.
Let's invite the people from EA Sports to that game.
Yeah, we should. So we'll talk about that when we return. It is a Tuesday edition, setting up on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Fellow Nebraskans, we need your help getting signatures to finally legalize medical marijuana. We only have 3 weeks left. Get to our state's best liquor stores, wine, beer, and spirits today and sign. Support us at nmm2024.org to make donations. Let's go.
Duck Defense Midwest makes your home healthier and improves the life of your HVAC system. So improve the health of your home and everyone in it. Go to cleanairradio.com for a special duct cleaning offer for Zone listeners. That's cleanairradio.com.
That's the sound of steak searing in its juices on your new pellet grill. You heard that right. The Weber Searwood Pellet Grill can smoke low and slow at 180 degrees all the way to a high heat sear at 600. With the Weber Searwood, you can cook on the direct flame over the full great sear zone. You'll hear the gasp of amazement from friends and family when you serve the food. Cooking with the Weber Searwood Pellet Grill just sounds delicious and tastes even better.
Howdy, Greg Wagner joining you from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Time now for another Nebraska Outdoor Update. Hey, planning a trip to a state park? One of Nebraska's 76 state park lands? Excellent. But don't forget your state park permit, money for camping fees and other activities, a fishing permit if you want to wet a line, and oh yeah, a 6-foot leash for Scruffy, your pet. Thank you, and we hope to see you out there. By the way, you can get all kinds of information on the Nebraska State Park lands through the Game and Parks website. That web address is outdoornebraska.gov. Are you going fishing? I thought so. For proper catch and release fishing this season to ensure fish survival, I want you to remember these important things. Land the fish as quickly as possible. Handle the fish as little as possible. Keep the fish in the water as much as possible. And release the fish as fast as possible. Enjoy your fishing experience, and we'll see you out there. I'm Greg Wagner with Nebraska Game and Parks.
Hi, we're the Goo Goo Dolls. We're fortunate that we can give our daughters everything they need to grow and learn. But not every child can focus on classes and play dates.
Nearly 13 million kids in the U.S. face hunger. That's 1 in 6. School lunch might be their only meal each day, and it's heartbreaking to imagine any child going to bed hungry. We're dreaming of a perfect day when kids can smile, play, and just be kids without worrying about where their next meal will come from. Feeding America is working to make that perfect day a reality.
Each year, the Feeding America network of food banks rescues billions of pounds of good food that would have gone to waste. That food is given to families and children in need. Being a kid should be about doing things that make an ordinary day extraordinary. Learning to play an instrument, building a sandcastle, hosting tea parties. Hunger should never be an obstacle to growing up.
You can help end childhood hunger in your community by visiting feedingamerica.org.
Brought to you by Feeding America and the Ad Council.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Topic alert. EA Sports laid out the significant impact that home field advantage could have on the outcome of games in EA Sports College Football 25 during their gameplay deep dive campus huddle today, of course.
Of course.
Audio and in-game modifiers such as blurred routes, incorrect play art, confidence and composure effects, and screen shaking are some of the immersive impacts away teams and players will be forced to contend with. But not all home field advantages are created equal. The development team worked to compile a list of the top 25 toughest places to play, factoring in historical stats such as home winning percentage, home game attendance, active home winning streaks, team prestige, and more. Rankings are subject to change in future updates.
Whoa.
But you know what EA Sports told you today? You suck and you're soft.
Your team doesn't matter.
Because Nebraska is not even on here. Not even cracking the top 25 of toughest places to play in the country. 951-1620. Your thoughts?
Why would they do this to us?
I think that's it. I think they hate Nebraska. That could be the only reason. Now, play both sides on this. I think Nebraska win good when they have a big game, when they have a rabid crowd, which they will on September 7th. There's no chance you're leaving Nebraska off of the top 25. There's probably no chance you're leaving Nebraska off of the top 10 of that list. It is as good as any other environment in the country. But that is not the game we're playing, Josh. It is, what are you bringing on a regular basis? What are you bringing every single Saturday you play at home? And for Nebraska, they've found that teams kind of walk into Memorial Stadium and they're not afraid of it. And they beat Nebraska. Most of this is due to the team not being very good.
They do think it's cool to play there, though. Like, oh, what a great venue for college football.
What I have heard,
we'll take our win and go home now.
What I have heard in talking to visiting players about playing at Memorial Stadium is about how unique it is. Where I think it was Connor Cook, or I think it was Connor Cook, the former Michigan State quarterback. I talked to him about this for about 5 to 10 minutes one day at Big Ten Media Days a long time ago, and he was like, one of the weirdest, because he was obviously the quarterback in that 2015 game. Mm-hmm. Everybody says that 2015 Nebraska Michigan State. Everybody's like, wow, that's one of the best Nebraska environments and best Nebraska wins. Probably of the last 10 years, I guess at this point. That the 2016 Oregon game. That gets thrown in there. As far as games that Nebraska played in, competed in, were big games, and then obviously won. I mean, that would be number 1 or number 2, I think, probably over the last 10 years, that game. And he was like, it was so odd because we would go into the huddle and we'd be fine. And it was almost a little bit nerve-wracking when we walked down onto the field and they were kind of clapping us out onto the field. We weren't being showered with booze. So it was almost like disarming in a way. Went into the huddle and it was fine. And then got out of the huddle and felt like I was in a completely different world. I felt like I was in a completely different place. And the fans are right on top of you and it's loud and you can't hear and you're trying to make the calls and everything like that. And there's a consistency to its loudness and stuff like that. And then I think what he mentioned in that conversation too, if I can recall it from like almost 10 years ago now, he talked about the wind and how unique it was from the wind tunnel effect, I guess, that happens in the stadium as well. there's no doubt. When good, Nebraska has one of the best home field advantages in the country, just if we're grading on crowd. But it hasn't been very good lately. Kyle Field, number one.
Number one,
Kyle Field.
The 12th man.
The 12th man. Isn't that interesting? You know what? Last night we'll get into the College World Series here in just a few minutes, but a lot of comments about how kind of split the crowd was. I think it was a lot heavier Tennessee last night than it was each of the two previous nights, or day and then night. But even when Texas A&M was like hanging in, and they scored the run to make it a 6-5 game, there wasn't much noise. It was just like, I know. I know how there's no 6-run home runs that are out there for us. We're not going to be able to do this. And you kind of felt that in the stadium last. I thought that was kind of interesting the way their fans were reacting, because they weren't as I was trying to imagine Nebraska fans in that same scenario. You're in College World Series Game 3 final, and yes, you come from down 6-1. At that point, you basically killed the spirit of Texas A&M fans. And I was thinking about what Nebraska fans would do in that scenario, and the answer is they would never quit. They would never give up. They'd be GBRing all over the place. They would still drown out all the Tennessee noise. But then especially in the ninth inning when it gets back to 6-5, I was kind of amazed at how quiet it was as Texas A&M was kind of mounting that comeback last night. Anyway, Kyle Field, number one. Alabama, Bryant-Denny Stadium, number 2. LSU, number 3. Ohio State, number 4. Georgia, 5. Penn State, 6. Wisconsin, 7. Oklahoma, 8. Florida State, 9. And Florida, 10. Iowa cracks the list, by the way. Number 20.
Iowa?
Yeah. It's a good home field advantage. Kinnick at night,
Waving at the hospital.
I think the thing is, like, you have to have a thing. Or especially a big game to show for evidence over the last few years. Like, yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
That game was memorable because of the environment. Like, all the teams in the top 10 have those, with the possible exception of, Alabama, you don't really think about it that way. LSU has it all the time. I don't know if Wisconsin has much of that recently, but obviously, you have a thing, and it's jump around, and that's talked about way too much, but it does exist.
Many are saying the
what are they saying?
Inclusion of Michigan State seems peculiar.
Michigan State, they're on here? Oh, wow. They are. Number 22. Arkansas, number 23. Boise State, number 24 at Albertson Stadium. And Davis Wade Stadium and Mississippi State, number 25 with their cowbells. Yeah, Nebraska's better than all those. I'm not outraged about this at all. Please don't put it on the internet that I'm outraged. But yeah, and Nebraska has better home field advantage than any of those schools, especially at their best.
10-21 against the Big Tens.
10-21 what?
Against the Big Ten.
Against the Big Ten when?
At home.
Since when?
2016.
Wow, where are you getting this stat, Josh?
I'm reading it from Stumanji. I was going to give him credit.
Stumanji's got some numbers out there today?
Yeah, he's got some nuggets. Some nuggies.
Sports Information Director Stumanji?
Yeah, he includes they are 19-26 at home since 2016.
Yeah, it's a football team's not good.
Yeah.
It's a football team's not good. Just wait till the football team's good. Then the crowd will be really good.
Win or lose, we still booze.
Is this true?
I don't know. Tell me, guys.
Josh, I feel like you're just saying things.
Is that bad?
Win or lose, we still booze. Yeah, exactly. I couldn't agree more. We get a tweet here from Josh.
Hi, Josh.
Not you.
No relation.
Damn it, I was really hoping to hear Stand Up and Shout.
Many people are making fun of Stand Up and Shout today.
Whoa.
And I appreciate that.
Yeah, Big Al says we have Stand Up and Shout. I am team Stand Up and Shout. Josh, put it on the poll. Are you team Stand Up and Shout?
All right.
I'm curious to see where this comes back. We we go through some things at the women's basketball games, and the person who plays like the hotkeys, the stand up and shout type of things, or the bells or whatever, sits right next to me. And I told him before the season, I said, listen, anytime you get the chance to do stand up and shout, you rip it. You hear me? I know these people. I know what they react to.
These are my people.
These are my people. They love stand up and shout. I love stand up and shout. And so you want a juiced up PA guy, and you want a good crowd, you play those bells, or you play stand up and shout. I love stand up and shout. I'm team stand up and shout. Chance says, thank you, Connor. We should be standing up and shouting. People don't like it because it's too, it's self-explanatory. It's giving a direction. But it doesn't have the same effect as like get up and yell. Stand up and shout. I don't even know what that's from. I have no idea. All the things that Nebraska does for like crowd energizing things, like where do they come from?
Amazing Daniel asked in the chat, can someone tell me what stand up and shout is even from?
I have no idea what stand up and shout is from. I need the origin point of stand up and shout. I like how they randomly found the house version of Can You Feel It? Originally a Michael Jackson song, turned it into like, somebody did a dubstep remix of the song or whatever it was, and they just use that for all their things. I think it's unique. I think that's cool. What I do not like is come a running, boys. Don't you hear that noise? I don't like that. I don't care about that.
I think Amazing Daniel nails it here when he says, I hate all those things when we suck. It just irritates me. When we're good, I love all of them, no matter how stupid they are.
I am standing up and shouting when they direct me to stand up and shout. And let's face it, guys, self-scout. Sometimes we need to be told when to stand up and shout.
Apparently,
this is Stibbs.
It is from the 2001 quote-unquote hit movie, Rockstar, starring Mark Wahlberg and Jennifer Aniston.
Really? I never even heard of that movie. Shocking, I know.
That's because it sucks.
So that's Mark Wahlberg yelling that?
I believe so.
Is that true? Okay. Do I need to go to YouTube? Stand up and shout Mark Wahlberg. Steel Dragon, stand up and shout.
Definitely.
Holy God. That's the voice of Mark Wahlberg?
Yeah, he's telling you to stand up and shout.
All right. I did not know this. Now many people are saying it. Chris says stand up and shout is from the movie Rockstar with Mark Wahlberg. It's the intro to one of their songs. Fremont Fred said it's from the movie Rockstar. I didn't know this. I had no idea about this. But I am team stand up and shout. I think they should put stand up and shout on the game. It's very unique.
Sounds expensive.
Well, Nebraska could have submitted a whole, bunch of things. And I think they did, but I don't think stand up and shout was one of them. Very sad. Jasker Todd writes in.
Hi, Jasker Todd.
My thoughts on Nebraska home games is that it's becoming similar to Creighton basketball in the sense that the demographics seems like it's getting older. I know at least our section is mostly olds.
Great take.
Olds can get after it. They can't?
They don't.
Question, can olds get after it? Put that up there, Josh.
I'm doing
it. Swift says Thunderstruck has sort of been a thing. Maybe if we beat Michigan in 2021, we would have made the list, like the light show. Yeah, everybody's doing a light show. Everybody's got the lights that flicker on and off and stuff like. By the way,
have you heard it's easy to do that?
Yeah,
now?
I know. I don't really like that. I like the lighting of the stadium. The lighting of the stadium is like 100 times better than it was 10 or 15 years ago. And it's because of those, like, it's just brighter now. It's a brighter place to play.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't need to be flipping the lights on and off when a guy scores a touchdown. I think that's kind of stupid.
How else would you know?
Maybe they have Mark Wahlberg come on and say, touchdown!
And remember, after the game, fans, eat at Wahlburgers at your local Hy-Vee.
That's right. That's a great idea. It's out there for him. Anyway, Nebraska should probably be on this list, first of all. And second of all, Josh, whisper into the mic and tell them what they need to do.
Win games.
There you go.
Win big games.
Yeah.
Win marquee games.
Yeah.
Win all the games.
To the poll question, do olds get after it? From the 402, texter writes, as an old, the answer is no.
Good self-scout.
All right. Back with more next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Home ownership. At Progressive, we know it's part of the American dream. It's winds blowing across a fruited plain, and also your new fire pit, which subsequently sets your gazebo ablaze. It's hard-hitting football, and an even harder-hitting price estimate from your general contractor. That's a star-spangled bummer. It's also around-the-clock protection when you bundle your home and auto with Progressive, which can help keep the American dream of home ownership alive and kicking. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's easy to see the common signs of transmission trouble.
If your engine revs before it falls into gear. If it seems to switch gears for no reason. So watch for the signs. Certified transmission. The job done right at the right price.
Hey, everybody, it's Jimmy Allen here.
And John Schreiner.
When the After Hours Lounge opens from 6 to 8 p.m., I drag John into all my conspiracy theories.
And I put up fierce resistance as the voice of reason in the room.
But along the way, we hit all the usual suspects, Huskers, Jays, Bruins.
And nobody goes in-depth on high school sports, bringing you all the best teams from around the Omaha Metro.
So stop by, open up a tab, and join in the crazy.
As the sports schedule allows.
We're brought to you by Bellevue University.
On 1620 The Zone.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Over the past few years, the COVID-19 pandemic has affected how we live our daily lives.
Today, 1 in 5 Americans experience emotional and mental health challenges, but many of us do not understand what we are facing or how to ask for help.
At the American Psychiatric Association Foundation, we work every day to eliminate stigma, combat mental illness and substance use disorders, and advance mental health.
If you or someone you love needs help, you are not alone. Please visit mentallyhealthynation.org to learn more.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers, and that radon levels in our region are some of the highest in the country? Do you know your radon level? Protect your family by contacting the experts at Radon Defense Midwest. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer to 1620 The Zone listeners. Get 50% off a professional radon test. radonradio.com. What's your level?
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, a couple comments here. First from Greg and Hastings.
Hi, Greg.
Fellas, as an old, yes, olds can get after it. Hashtag Hawk Tua.
Congratulations. Tip of the cap to you, Greg.
What the hell?
I love you, Pookie.
Oh, so they found her, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Conor McGregor also found her, followed her on IG.
She lost her job.
Did she really?
Yeah, she was. I guess she was a preschool teacher.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's what.
I was like, what possible job could you lose for saying that?
Yeah, that's a tough one.
That's
fortunately for her, now she has a budding social media career. If she wants.
There's really only one thing you can parlay that into, though, Connor.
That is true. There comes a price.
OnlyFans.
Rents due. Boozin' Husker writes in.
Hi, Boozin'.
Just to clarify, yes, Wahlberg is the actor in the movie, but all the songs that he sings, including Stand Up and Shout, is the voice of Steelheart's lead singer. Steelheart, the band.
Saying Marky Mark.
So Marky
faked it?
Yeah, I'm saying Marky Mark lip synced that whole movie.
Wow.
Interesting.
My world's crashing down around me.
Andrew says, from what I could find, the Stand Up and Shout is from the movie Steel Dragon. Well, everybody else says it's from the movie Rockstar, so I don't know what's going on here. I watched a 4-minute long YouTube video during the break, and it was just Mark Wahlberg saying stand up. It didn't sound exactly like it does in the recording that Nebraska uses in the stand up and shout.
Interesting.
Also, I'd be curious, does anybody else use stand up and shout? Like, is that specifically unique to Nebraska that they use stand up and shout?
It might be. I mean, Steel Dragon is the name of the fake band in Rockstar.
Oh, okay. But somebody else probably saying, I don't know. How do you know that's not Marky Mark ripping it? We know he's talented.
People forget he was a singer.
He could yell stand up and shout. I don't know. It might be him. Anyway, I think
maybe it was one of the Funky Bunch.
I think that seems like a clip or a prompt for fans that is exclusive and unique to Nebraskans. And we hate it? Give me a break. It's great. It's awesome. Speaking of things that people hate for various reasons, Stibbs writes in again.
Hi, Stibbs.
He says, "Let me clear my throat was the coolest thing we've done in the stadium in years, but dork asses didn't want anything associated with Mike Riley after he's gone." I actually agree with that take too. Now, that came about relatively organically. And then the problem that has occurred over the last 10 or so years here is they've tried to really force some things.
Yes.
The Come a Running Boys thing. It just like the Thunderstruck thing. I don't know. Obviously it's cool, but is it something that is engaging, with the fan base and that they look forward to?
It doesn't always have to be AC/DC, everybody.
But when they did it in the first time I remember it, and I think people will probably correct me if I'm wrong on this, but the first time I remember them doing it was after the Jano run in the 2015 Wisconsin game. Andy Janovich, fullback right up the middle, gone. I think he had a 6-yard touchdown run. It was a party in the stadium. Nebraska was finally going to beat Wisconsin for the first time in a few years. And then they did let me clear my throat, and then they lost. So yes, I think people have a problem with it because it's associated with losing a little bit. And then they did it famously after they beat Michigan State that same year in the nighttime in November, and they had a big party and people were throwing water at each other and stuff like that. It was like this huge release. So you could kind of deploy it whenever you want. Now, my issue with it is that it was a little too derivative of the Wisconsin jump around. Obviously, same idea for a song. Obviously, you're not jumping around, but it's the same. And then for like they had their open practice the next fall, and they brought in actual like DJ Cool, and he came in and like did a concert.
I remember that.
Yeah. I'm generally with Stibbs on the, like, we just hate things that are associated with losing. Give me a break. Like the white jerseys. Oh, you could never wear the white jerseys. Oh, you could never wear the black jerseys. They lost in them. It's like, can we never have fun? Because everything that's been associated with Nebraska football over the last 10 years has been washed from its purity. It has been associated with losing if it's been involved in Nebraska football in the last like 10 or so years here.
I also think we should say dork asses more.
Dork ass, good one.
Yeah.
I like that. Maybe we can make that a thing. We start chanting dork ass at people.
Also, can we just have Stibbs on this radio station more? Guy's great.
I'm Team Stibbs also.
Yeah.
Good take. Good take by you, Josh.
Thank you.
Text from the 402.
Hi, 402.
Why can we do something so off the wall, but no other teams are doing, like using Megadeth? Do you think Megadeth should be mixed into the Nebraska fan prompts in some way, shape, or form? Josh, the floor is yours.
I don't need Megadeth. No.
See, this was my suggestion, Andrew. If Nebraska beats Colorado this year, they should play Shadur's crappy music for everyone to boo at.
100%.
Crappy boo year. But they won't.
They won't.
I was thinking it probably has some bad words in it. Actually, have you listened to Shadur's song?
Not a second.
I haven't either.
I'm getting to it.
I don't think you are. But it's not I would love to do that and laugh at them, but I don't think Nebraska would probably go that direction either. but that's okay. You don't have to. All right. So there you go. Nebraska as a home crowd sucks according to EA Sports. So don't buy the game, right?
We're boycotting it.
Yep. I'm out. All the way out.
Now, if they update the rankings mid-season or something and
they're back
Nebraska's
in?
on there, then we can all go out and get a copy.
We reserve the right to take in the information as it's given to us.
That's right.
Things change, Josh. Many people could attest to this.
Things change all the time. I love a changing of the guard.
College World Series. Spend a couple minutes on this before we talk to Allan. So Tennessee is, they won. Breaking news, they won last night. 6-5 national champions, first in school history, first number 1 seed overall to win since 99er.
We don't have to hear that stat anymore, everybody.
It's amazing.
We did it.
It's really great, actually. What will we talk about next year before the College World Series? Seriously, what will we do? I don't think anybody will have any stats to say.
Number 1 has won the last one College World Series tournament.
Now, you know what they're going to they're just going to talk about how many SEC teams are. Oh, look it up. And again, there's 6 more SEC teams in it. So before we get to Tennessee, let me ask you this. Who the hell wouldn't want to play in the SEC? We all yell at the SEC. Oh, the SEC is doing this. And here's what they're doing. They're trying. This is available to everybody. Now, obviously, they have closer access to talent and all this, and they have all this tradition and stuff like this. But like, if the Big Ten decided that they wanted to play baseball with the big boys, they could certainly try. I would suggest it. I think they should. And so you can hate the SEC all you want, but look at that conference, and you can pretty much guarantee that half your league is going to be in the damn tournament when the season ends. And they're the most fun. Their fans care the most. Like in baseball, it really, really, truly does mean more.
So I think it's weird that we were both thinking this last night. I was watching the game and I go, SEC football is really just like minor league NFL, and it's obviously it's very good football, but it's got the most draftable players or whatever. So it's just a minor league NFL. SEC baseball is just a bunch of nuts who look like they're in a beer league, softball league. They're all come into Omaha with the goofiest facial hair and haircuts, and they're just having fun. And
why would you not want to play in that?
Yeah.
Why would you not? So and we'll, I guess this is a part of the conversation, but like another example of this happened yesterday where Ohio State's best pitcher, the guy who absolutely crushed Nebraska in the Big Ten tournament, Landon Beidelshays, where's he going to play next year? Arkansas. Why would you not? We experienced this when Nebraska went down there and played in 2021. We get to experience this every summer, and yet the reaction from people around here is like, well, I'm bored of the SEC. No, this is fun.
Yes.
This sport is in a great spot right now because of the SEC. And it's not up to them to stoop down to everybody else's level and get lackadaisical. Like, their fan support is better. Their players are obviously better. Like, that's a part of this for sure. Their coaches are better. Their facilities are better. The money is better. Like, why would you not want to be a part of the best college baseball conference in the country by far? The problem is in football, like if you want to make the comparison to football, you can't definitively say that the SEC is better than the Big Ten from like a talent perspective and for who wins and all that stuff. In baseball, you can. It's right out there in front of you. They care more, and that's why they win more. And you see it in the championship game, and you see it with full houses. I don't know how many local people were in the stands last night. I would imagine no more than, probably less than 50%.
Saw a lot, saw a few Husker hats on TV.
Sure, of course. There's always going to be. But man, like those are people who like, obviously they love winning and they win all the time. It's not just Tennessee, it's everybody in the SEC, and they show up and they win. Like, I don't get what's not to. I don't get what's not to. Like, we fall in love with these stories every year. We fell in love with LSU last year. Like, I don't know what it is about LSU as it compares to Tennessee. We could talk about, their like disposition on life in a second, Tennessee, because they're, tightly wound, I'd say.
Very.
And I think their fans are a little tightly wound as well. But it's that way because they live in a competitive environment, and they like you will if you don't have the best everything, or if you don't at least try to be in that category, you're not going to be able to compete in that conference. And if you can compete in that conference, you can make it through anything. Tony Vitello said it last night with John. He's right. I mean, it's obviously the truth.
We've told this story countless times over the years. I love the fact that the fan base comes to Omaha and they're like, I don't really know what this is. Heard there was a party. Heard there were tailgates.
I'm here.
And our team is winning. So let's go. I want to be a part of this.
I don't know why the hell you wouldn't want to play in the SEC. I choose to look at it with more of envy. As a person who cares about baseball, I choose to look at it more with envy rather than these guys taking over the town again. So for people who are like, oh man, I'm sick of the, 4 out of the 8 being SEC or 6 out of the 8 being SEC. I am definitely not, because they have the best players, the best teams, the best coaches, and the best fans.
Yeah.
What's to dislike about it?
The only thing I wanted in this tournament and didn't get was Charlie Condon. And
who also plays in the SEC.
Yeah.
Tennessee is the most tightly wound baseball program that I've ever been around. It was apparent throughout the College World Series. I think they carried a lot of that pressure along with them. And so to watch it almost slip away last night because we talked about it before the show yesterday, or before the game yesterday, if they would have lost that game, the narrative would have been, well, you blew game 1. You took care of business in game 2. And then obviously the way it would have turned out, if that would have gone the other way, you massively blew game 3. And the response to Tony Vitello would have been, is this program too tightly wound, too high strung, does it run too hot to win a national championship? And that's no longer a question that they have to answer, because they just fended him off there at the end. We got a guy in the final inning of the national championship game, a winner-take-all game, pick off to first base when there was nobody there. The runner was on second. And then he balked him to third and then scored on a wild pitch. Like, they were crumbling. To which
TV noticed the pitcher say to the catcher,
I
didn't know he was at second.
You want to talk about a tightly wound program? Yeah. And so to watch it almost slip away was just incredible theater last night. So, but congratulations to Tennessee, who gets that number 1. Why does the phone keep ringing and nobody's on the other line? I don't know what's going on. Or do our phones work? Unclear. Try it. 951-1620. But yeah, College World Series is over. Congratulations to everybody. And to Tennessee. I think, you know what I want to try? I want to post that video, or the audio with Vitello's interview last night with John. This is John got him seconds after he had stage dived into the left field stands, or into the third baseline stands,
which was a great move, by the way.
Incredible move. Popped right out, and we're like, Tony, slow down. Can you talk here for a second? He's like, yeah, sure, I guess, yeah. And then goes on this 3-minute, WWE promoter style rant, and all the emotions kind of coming together. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed when he picked up all the ice and started chomping on it. I thought that was great.
Just
great move by him.
Total baseball guy move. Just, this ice has been in the dirt. Yeah, let me pick it up and put it in my mouth.
We were standing right next to the Tennessee dugout in the final 2.5 innings, basically. And he's pacing. He's moving people around. He's calling down to the bullpen. He is going. He at one point walked by himself all the way back in the tunnel to get to their dugout, all the way back to the door, basically of the floor, like bowel concourse at the Chuck box, and then just slow. I'm like, where is he going? What is he like? You can't have to go to the bathroom right now. There's no way that's it. And he just paced all the way up the ramp, back down the ramp, returned, didn't say anything to anybody, That is, yeah. Ooh. But they won, so they don't have to deal with any of those questions anymore. Back after this with Allan Bell. Speaking of Tennessee winning a championship, next on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
I read a book about the idea of aliens being a thing. What is that, a new concept? Someone writing about aliens? No. It talked about being, if we're going to find aliens, how we hope to find them. Boy, that sounds like a really exciting book. It was a great book. I ripped right through it.
John, this is why you don't have fun. You don't allow yourself to wonder.
I wonder all the time. I wonder how I've made it this long being next to you two.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday, hot and humid with a heat advisory beginning at 1 p.m. going until 7 o'clock. Feels like temperatures up to 95 with an air temperature high today in Omaha of 98. Southeasterly winds remain light 3 to 6 miles an hour. A chance of storms this evening and tonight, a couple of which may become severe with large hail and damaging winds. Partly cloudy overnight, warm with a low of 68. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
How do you give hope to a child in the foster care system? It starts with your heart. That tug you feel in yours when you hear that children are waiting for a stable, loving voice to speak up for their best interests. And then it becomes your time. What started out as a feeling that maybe you could make a difference becomes the difference. Change a child's story. There is a child waiting for a volunteer like you.
Contact NebraskaCasa.org. Paid for by Nebraska Casa.
She posted about us just now.
Celebrities can't get enough of Beyond's bespoke skincare line.
She has 147 million followers. How do we monetize?
She needs a social media associate to help her with the hype.
We should repost this. Do we need a hashtag?
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. RAMP.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Tune in to 1290 Coil all season long for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on the International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1290 Coil.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
Host Coffee stands as the vibrant heart of every break room, offering the unique fusion of traditional quality and modern flair. We're not just your coffee provider, we're the center of memorable workplace moments. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Are Nebraska craft beers and ciders important to you? Whether you just love Nebraska brewed beers and ciders or you're a full-fledged craft brewery, there are benefits to membership for anyone with the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild. Their sole mission is to foster and help grow the Nebraska-centric brewing community. Become a member today at nebraska.beer and help advance the craft beer and cider industry in the state of Nebraska. Find out more about the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild at nebraska.beer.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money.
Allan Bell, the AB3, on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
You know, at some point over the last couple of years, they started playing walk-up songs for players at the College World Series. I thought it was weird that this song was used by Texas A&M's Jace Laviolette. And I thought, man, if that would have only been a Tennessee player, how perfect would that have been? As Allan Bell joins us now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Good morning, Allan.
Good morning, fellas. How we doing? Hey, you know what? And I laughed every time I heard that. I was like, dude, I thought about you guys. I was like, oh, this is perfect. I love it.
Yeah. I was sitting there last night as Tennessee was getting ready to celebrate. And I thought, wow, we're going to talk to Allan tomorrow. He will either be in the best of places or the worst of places. How do we feel right now?
Oh, man, a little hungover, right? But, hey, we're good to go. Yeah, I mean, we're good to go. Like, you wake up, dude, take a quick shower, couple Excedrin, some water, you're good to go. You know what I mean? Last night was wild. Tennessee obviously gets the job done. In true Tennessee fashion, got a little hairy there at the end, but they got the over for us. That was nice.
It got very hairy. It was so from a gambling perspective, we could loop this in. So the total last night when I checked it in the afternoon was at 10.5. And I think on your show, you guys picked it up at what, 10?
10, yep.
So I saw it at 10.5 yesterday afternoon, and I looked outside and I looked at those flags downtown and I said, gosh, I just don't know. And everybody's going to get pretty tight here in a championship. So I maybe you'd think about taking the under in that situation. Well, it looked good for the majority of the game until Tennessee just decided to, try to pick a guy off from first who wasn't there. And then he advanced to, third on the balk and then scored on a wild pitch. And that ended up being the run that went over. So that was for people who had the 10.5 under last night. Very, very bad beat. But if you had the over, congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Like, I mean, if you had the under, that was sickening, right? But I'm with you. Like, I was sitting there on the over, and I was like, oh, my God. Because I found myself in a spot where it's like, all right, I don't mind if we get 2 runs scored against us, but let's also win the game, And it was like, oh, my God, like, it actually happened. So it was nuts. And, I've got to say, man, like, it's wild every year. And, we've all covered this, and have been around it, for years now, that like how much the wind plays a factor in the College World Series, man. Like we had new people, like new bettors to it this year, and they were like, man, it's just wind. I was like, no, it's not. No, it is not. No. And then also yesterday, it was 108 is what it felt like. Like, my God, man, it seemed like it was hot yesterday.
Yeah, it was definitely hot yesterday. And then, what makes it worse is that when you would think that the wind would make it easier to bear. No, it just blows in more hot air.
Yeah.
And then it turns into just this giant oven in the stadium. And it creates this very, like, fun but weird kind of environment, and an environment that changes the baseball game a little bit as well. Super odd last night. The thing that I noticed about Tennessee being around them the entirety of the last 2 weeks, Allan, we just got done talking about it. That is a program who had a lot of expectations on it, has had it. They've been the number 1 overall seed for 2 out of the last 3 years now, and they finally won it last night. They are like whatever their coach is, Tony Vitello, they are like high strung, man. They run with that, like they have that pressure on their shoulders all the time. So it didn't necessarily surprise me to see him kind of let it slip, and it got more interesting last night. But then when it all came out and they won afterwards, it was the feeling in the environment, the air almost changed in that building.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, you're exactly right. That was a big win, like not only to obviously win the national championship, but just to get it done and get like that monkey off the back, right? So to say that now it's like, moving forward in the future. Yeah. I mean, you're always going to have pressure and stress in sports, but to get that one out of the way. Oh God. I mean, Tony Vitello is a high strung dude. Like he absolutely is. He was stressed as soon as regional started. I mean, he was very, very stressed. And the team, they play like it, right? Like they feed off of him. So the fact that, to get that done, like you could see it. I mean, I think at one point Tony like jumped in the stands,
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
And I got to give him credit too on this one. He's a sharp looking guy. Got to give him, that.
Very handsome.
He's about to be a very rich man as well. Like that was a big night for Tony Vitello. Got to give him credit, man. He got a lot of things out of the way.
Yeah, he did. There might be some other jobs that come calling at some point, but Tennessee's going to want to hang on. You're going to want to hang on to that one, Josh. 250,000. Going to want to hang on to that one.
Yeah.
So it turned out to be just from the looks of it. I was kind of, when I could, I was checking in on how you guys were doing. Obviously, we talked about a lot of it through the college baseball postseason. Your effort and you're paying attention all the way back to February seems like it has paid massive dividends for your listeners and yourself as we ended the season last night.
Yeah, it did, man. We ended up in the postseason alone, we were 48-31. So, nice 61% on that. So love that. Then for the season, I don't know what we were. It was higher than that. I mean, it was a good year. And, the fun part about it was that from a betting perspective, just overall, like it was very consistent. Like I thought that, college baseball is a weird sport and it's fun. That's what makes it fun. We had some weird moments, but for the most part, like the teams that, that we thought were going to be good were good, and then, I can't wait for next year because we got teams like Nebraska, right? Where you're like, okay, like Nebraska's a program here. You got, like Kentucky. Right? Like there's going to be a lot of teams that bounce off of this year and continue. And I hope that for the sport as a whole, because I think a lot of people, through betting found out like, oh my God, like this sport is fun. And everybody's done it forever. It's like, yeah, this sport is actually great. Like you guys should pay attention more. Like it's awesome. So yeah, man, it was a fun year.
Give us a sense of, because we talked about this part of it too. And people from our area of the country will look at the SEC and they'll say, man, I'm fatigued by it. And there's, all the teams are either SEC or ACC. They're all from the southeastern part of the country. I tend to look at it this way. And I say, I think it's great. I mean, they care about it more. They've put more resources into it. They have the best players. And like, there's some of that stuff that is the geographical difference between the South and the North part of the country. But some of it is just investment into those programs. Like, give us a sense for how much. I saw this firsthand when I went to Arkansas a couple of years ago and saw a regional there. Give us a sense of how much SEC baseball means in your part of the country.
Oh, I mean, it means a ton, right? Because most people that grow up, our age, right? Like baseball was the sport. I mean, football gets all the attention, but everybody played baseball, right? So it's huge in the Southeast. Now, the interesting part, and you're right about like the financial investment, like put into it. Absolutely. Right. I mean, that's why, like, you see these programs that are, building just amazing, parks, stadiums and practice facilities. So, I mean, they're definitely putting the money into it. But here's the thing, too, is that now that we have these, super conferences coming in, like Texas and Oklahoma coming into the SEC next year, at some point, it's actually going to be a detriment because they're just going to take each other out. You know what I mean? And then you also have players like in the transfer portal. So I think that like it's actually going to even the sport out more, and it's probably going to become basically the Big Ten and the SEC. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, a massive sport down here, but I think the exposure is going to make it big everywhere else.
Yeah.
So like, I love the fact that like people in other, areas of the country are picking up on it. Like, oh no, like we can actually be very good at this sport. We have talent around. So yeah, man, like it's going to be good overall.
Just have to try. Were you annoyed at how many times they were showing the suite of Morgan Wallen, Peyton Manning, Josh Heupel, and Rick Barnes last night, or were you all in?
So between that and then showing Jeff Kitt. All right, apparently nothing bothers Jeff Kitt. My man is chewing seeds, spitting them out, and that's it. And I respected it, man. Yeah. So the funny part to me was like you could see like Morgan Wallen getting a little drunker as the game went, and like don't get me wrong, Peyton Manning hammers beers. All right, but he does it quietly. Like, Morgan kept going over to Peyton and saying stuff, and you can see it on Peyton's face like, all right, pal, I'm going to need you to shut up for a little bit. I'm trying to watch the game. That was my favorite part, because Morgan was like, I mean, he's a Tennessee guy, but he was like, oh, I'm here to get drunk. And then the best part is that in Nashville, you can look it up, like 5-6 months ago, maybe a little bit longer, Morgan Wallen actually got in a little bit of police trouble.
Yeah, he threw a chair off of a building.
Yeah, off of Eric Church's bar. All right, so then he's got the World Series with Eric Church. I was like, oh, man, he's going to start throwing stuff at Eric now. Like, I don't know what's going on with this one. Morgan Wallen, he's a wild dude, but he's funny.
Eric Church pulled the okie doke, so I talked to him earlier in the week, and he was a North Carolina fan, and then he came back wearing Tennessee gear.
Oh, you can't do that. I know he's a Carolina guy. How was he, though? Was he cool?
He was very cool.
Like a good dude.
He was he was definitely very willing to do. He got a pitch of play-by-play for us, and he called a foul ball down the right field line. Yeah, we gave it to him for a 30-second clip there. It was nice.
Dude, that was a great call. I love that. And I'll tell you this, anytime you ever see it, the funniest one out of that group that you just mentioned is Rick Barnes. Like, apparently, like, he's a huge, like, prankster. Like, he's just, like, a silly, like, fun-having type of a dude. So I kept watching last night. He'd always have, like, a little smirk. Like, I know he was, like, moving Peyton's drink a little bit further each, like, half inning. You know, like, what the hell's my beer? Like, that's my favorite part. Like, apparently Rick Barnes, dude, he's really, really fun with that.
So Josh filled me in on, like, the bullet points of the story, but can you explain to me and the listeners what happened when you attempted to make the trip to Omaha for the College World Series?
Oh, my God. Like, okay, so what I've learned is that life is just a cruel joke. That's all that it is. No, I'm kidding. But me and my dad are going, right? And we're, like, halfway there. We're almost at the Mark Twain National Forest. And then something with work happens, and I was like, I knew this would happen, dude. He's like, I have to go back. I'm so sorry. You know what I mean? And I was like, great. All right. You could have driven yourself. You know what I mean? And it was like, we turn around, and I felt so bad, you know, because, like, he felt awful, you know? And, yeah, I was like, and in my head, I was just laughing. I was like, that's why I just immediately started betting Tennessee. I said, oh, they're going to win it all now. Like, because we can't get there, like, that's the time. So, you just got to take it in stride. You know what? Sometimes you don't get that. You don't get a good call with 2 strikes. You get rung up. That's how I felt. But you just got to come back with it.
That's about halfway. That's a tough one to turn around from.
Oh, I told him. I said, "You're gonna leave some gas money here in the car. You're definitely gonna do that, old man." He just laughed.
Well, it will work out one day. I promise. We're gonna we probably need to get you a private jet or something like that, just to make sure everything works out fine.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Allan, great to talk to you as always. Congrats on a nice betting run there during the college baseball season, and we'll talk to you again next week.
Man, I appreciate you guys all year long, man. Thank you guys. Y'all have a good one.
Allan Bell of Driving the Line, the AB3. Yeah, if you pay attention to what they're doing over there, college baseball betting, who knew? He's all over
out there.
He's all over it.
It's not just coaches from Alabama saying, I got a hot tip.
Trust me, I got this. If you only knew what I knew, you'd be betting this too. That's what Allan's saying, but except for he's not the coach.
Yeah, he just watches all the baseball.
Odd News is next on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
It's golf season, and that means it's time to start betting like a pro with the world's largest sportsbook right at your fingertips. Circa Sports Iowa. It's sports betting the way it should be. The odds makers with the lowest holds and the best odds for every tournament. Plus, high betting limits, exceptional customer service, and more. Fund and bet like a pro anywhere, anytime. It's never been easier. Get ready for all the biggest golf tournaments with Circa Sports Iowa. Visit circasports.com today. If you or someone you know may have a problem with gambling, call 1-800-238-7633.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free, with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. hims.com/radio.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. October 1st, Liberty First Credit Union Arena. Playing all their classic hits. ZZ Top. On sale now at LibertyFirstCreditUnionArena.com or at the box office.
The Nebraska Lottery presents 5 reasons the dollar bill is so great. First, it's always there when you need it. You can always find one folded up in your pocket just waiting to get you out of a jam. Second, it's humble. It doesn't strut around like a 50 or 100 waiting for people to compliment it. Third, it works hard. Whether you need more money for a tip or extra detergent at the laundromat, a dollar bill sure comes in handy. Fourth, it beats lugging around 100 pennies. And fifth, you can use it to buy a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery. Lotto America only costs $1. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So visit a Nebraska Lottery retailer today and buy a Lotto America ticket. Ooh, sounds like someone tried to pay with 100 pennies. So sad.
Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million.
Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, previously located at 30th and Reddick and now at 30th and Willett in historic Florence, is still the way you remember it. Nachos, deep fried burritos, and those amazing cinnamon chips. Have a margarita or a cocktail. Open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays too. And try Ramona's Out of This World 2.5-pound massive burger with cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and pickles. Ramona's Mexican Restaurant. Stop in today. Follow them on Facebook for specials and news about their monthly musical bingo.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, it is time for the odd news. Josh, what do we have today?
Well, as we continue to analyze sports media in this segment, we go to the Stephen A. Smith show.
Oh, good.
He does.
He does takes.
He does takes, and he also kind of does like a ripoff of the tweet bag.
Yeah, those are the ones that go the most viral.
Yeah,
his whole bit about cars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, with Lightning McQueen.
Yeah. Strip weathers.
He was taking questions from people on Twitter. A blatant ripoff of the tweet bag when his coworker Dan Orlovsky chimed in with a tweet.
Oh, good. He's known for reasonable, normal takes.
He asked Stephen A. Smith to rank 4 different jellies in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like, give me your power rankings on these jellies if you're making a PB&J. Strawberry, grape, raspberry, and blackberry.
Okay.
Stephen A. Smith responded by ripping Dan for even including raspberry and blackberry in the conversation.
Handshake meme. Me and Stephen A.
I won't play the audio, but I will read you the quote. Dan Orlovsky, my buddy at ESPN. Oh, my Lord. This is unbelievable. I can't believe he sent this tweet. This is ridiculous. I love him, though. I love him to death. First of all, understand something about Dan. Dan is probably putting mayonnaise with peanut butter. I'm not putting anything past him.
Hey,
something is wrong with him.
Hey, he's got him pegged. Yeah, that's pretty good.
He's a great guy, great NFL analyst, but here's the deal. Blackberry and raspberry ain't even in the mix. It's going to be either grape or strawberry. Grape at 1, strawberry at 2. Not even applicable is blackberry and raspberry with peanut butter. How much do you want to make a bet that blackberry and raspberry are what Dan Orlovsky likes? Bet the house. Something's wrong with him, but I love him. Orlovsky responded.
Great take.
To say raspberry isn't in the mix is outrageous.
See, maybe this is a me problem. I'm not big on I'm not into the jelly game really. So really,
I prefer just a peanut butter sandwich.
All I know about really.
Yeah.
So you're just out on jelly entirely. You'd rather not.
I enjoy jelly, but when I'm making a sandwich at home, I pretty much always just go bread, peanut butter, close it up.
Okay.
Let's not waste any time.
Okay, hold on. Now that's kind of wild.
Yeah.
You are accepting of the fact that is a wild take?
Yeah, sure. Fine. That's fine.
Okay.
I'll share that vulnerability with the audience.
See, I feel like I lie somewhere in the middle. Once again, I get chastised for my weird food takes, but we got a guy here that says no jelly at all. And then we got the other guy who says, I want ridiculous jelly. Just grape jelly is the best. Put grape jelly on whatever you want. And
definitely.
Yeah. There's your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We were talking about the seemingly reemergence of Uncrustables earlier on.
Yes.
Your stat about how many Uncrustables the Ravens ate last year was pretty wild. Here.
The Baltimore Ravens eat 30 to 60 Uncrustables per day and 7,500 per season.
Yeah, so we're basically talking about an Uncrustable a player a day.
Yeah.
It's a good way to fuel your guys. I could tell you at the College World Series when the teams would have their facilities, their holding rooms before they took over the clubhouses when they were waiting for their next game, they had a refrigerator, whatever drinks they'd like in there, and a nice big pack of Uncrustables.
Wow.
Variety of different flavors. Sometimes they'd run back to the holding room and grab them out of the refrigerator, bring them back to the dugout, and eat the Uncrustable. Uncrustables might be back, folks.
Connor not against having an Uncrustable during the show himself.
Not at all. I need to get back on my grind here. I need to get back on my Uncrustable grind.
Kenneth delivers us this take.
Hi, Kenneth.
And I hope you're sitting down when you hear this. Peanut butter, a slice of American cheese, warmed in the microwave for 20 seconds.
Whoa. Kenneth, I was not ready for that. I appreciate you warning me a little bit. That is insane. That is the move of an insane person.
I cannot say I will be trying this. American cheese, good. Peanut butter, good. Microwave, good. All of that together sounds gross.
Poll question, what's weirder? A peanut, however you want to describe the sandwich that Kenneth just made, the peanut butter, cheese, and microwave sandwich, or Gary keeping his house at 88 degrees in the hottest day of the year. We'll get that one up shortly at Happer Show. Kenneth also says, don't knock it till you try it. I'm going to knock it. There's things that I haven't tried that I'm completely fine with knocking, and this is one of them.
Now, here's
Kenneth also said 88 degrees, 100%. That's weird.
Very odd story out of Florida. This is going to affect parents. Listen up when your kids are playing the video games. A New Jersey man faces attempted murder charge after allegedly flying to Florida to attack a fellow gamer with a hammer over an online dispute. The two had never met in person before. The subject showed up at the victim's home in Florida over the weekend to confront the victim, said a local sheriff during a press briefing. The incident is believed to have originated over an online altercation. The sheriff admits the case is, quote, a weird one. The suspect, Edward Kang, 20 years young, so he should know better, allegedly gained entry into the victim's home through an unlocked door and, wearing all black, attacked the victim with a hammer when the victim got up from gaming to use the bathroom. The victim, who is believed to be around the same age as Kang, was able to wrestle the assailant to the ground.
That's good.
And the stepfather, who was home at the time, was woken up by the screams for help, was able to disarm and restrain the suspect.
Yeah, I mean, you hear that if you play video games often, like online or on Call of Duty or something like that. You'll hear somebody tell you, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to actually kill you.
And
you never believe it's true.
Yeah.
You'll never find me.
Uh-huh.
This guy did the legwork and finding out where this guy lived, flew to Florida, and then fully tried to kill the guy.
Yeah.
So shouts out to that guy. Unfortunately, you're going to jail, but he really followed through on his word, so I appreciate that.
I like the stick to it.
Yeah, I do.
Finally, do you remember when we did the short-lived segment Wednesday Trends Day?
I do. Sleepy Chicken.
Yes.
I think we did it once.
Yes. I'd like to present a new trend to the group, see what everyone thinks of it.
All right.
Men have been raw dogging it lately.
Uh-oh.
Are you familiar with raw dogging?
Well, I am. Yes, I am.
Are you familiar with the new raw dogging?
I would assume there is this weird, people have started to become obsessed with hot dogs again. And I assume you're talking about eating hot dogs with no condiments on them?
I am not.
Okay, never mind.
Everyone has their own tricks for staving off boredom on a long-haul flight. Some people load up on podcasts.
No headphones?
Yeah. Just sitting in the chair, no device of any kind, just flying around, sitting in the chair, staring at the seat in front of you. That is raw dogging.
Due to circumstances beyond my control, I had to raw dog mowing the other day, gas mowing.
No.
Didn't have my audio book that I'm killing right now.
Oh wow.
That would be Andy McCullough's Clayton Kershaw book, by the way.
Hello.
And
friend of the show.
My pods were dead or whatever. So I raw dogged my mowing, and I found it to be a slightly to moderately more exhausting experience than I was prepared for.
It's brutal.
I just didn't. I was actually thinking about mowing the lawn while I was mowing the lawn, and I had never really done that before. It's like driving a car like when you're driving a car, you're not actually paying attention to driving the car. You're only like 40% paying attention to driving the car. You're paying attention to whatever the hell you're doing, whether it's eating or listening to whatever you're listening to. It'd be like just driving down the road and not listening to anything. Seems kind of crazy to me. I'm not going to be in on this trend. Maybe a 1 hour flight to Chicago. That's all I got.
26-year-old Londoner named West went viral in May when he posted about his London to Miami flight.
Whoa, that's like 8 hours, isn't it?
Yup, London to Miami this week, pure bareback, no food or water either.
Okay, that's insane. There's too many challenges these days.
So,
Josh.
my wife tipped me off to a new challenge. I want to bring this to the table as well.
Okay.
The Sprite challenge.
You just drink a whole Sprite without like throwing it up?
Well, you don't even do that. You drink a Sprite and then you burp really loud.
That's the original challenge.
That's just drinking a Sprite and recording. There's no challenge.
Yeah, it is a challenge, but everybody's already done that.
Yeah, and just these people are doing it and cackling like maniacs, like they've never drank a Sprite before.
Unbelievable what these kids think they invented. Yeah. They now think they invented burping. The lack of respect for their elders is just out of control. Out of control.
Now, we were probably disrespectful towards our elders too, but we would never.
I never claimed to create burping.
Right. We would never.
Brian emails in.
Hi, Brian.
I like Josh.
Uh-oh.
And I'm almost always just a peanut butter only sandwich at home. Jelly complicates it and slows down the sandwich making process. Oh, I like Josh am always.
Oh, okay.
I thought that was.
I thought that was
going to say. Coming. Oh, I like Josh, but I think something needs to be done about this guy.
It gets it gets the knife dirty. It gets the jars. You're mingling.
I don't care.
Jars.
It's a great sandwich.
Takes me an extra 20 seconds before I'm eating sandwich. Like I'm just. Let's go. Let's go.
It's very much worth it, Josh. Very much worth it.
By the way, poll question is up at Happer's show. What's weirder, peanut butter and American cheese microwave for 20 seconds, or Gary keeping his house at 88 degrees in the summer?
Please vote.
It's important.
Venmo Chris writes in.
Hi, Venmo Chris.
Hate to be this guy, but Kenneth needs to be put down. Absolutely mental take on PB and cheese.
I find the take to be wild. I don't think Kenneth deserves to
put down. Put down. Text from the 402. I think Urban Dictionary has a different definition of raw dogging.
Really?
Jasker Todd. Was that flight from London to Miami or from London to Guantanamo Bay? No food, electronics, etc. Matt says the Sprite challenge should be not to burp. That would be harder. That would be impossible, I believe. Yeah.
Maybe that is the challenge, but you always fail.
Every time. It's like the saltines challenge.
Yeah.
Remember when people were doing like the cinnamon challenge?
Yeah, that was hilarious.
You can't win. Like it's just your body says
it's physically impossible.
You just can't do it.
Like drinking a gallon of milk in 30 minutes or whatever it is.
Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
Very informative segment of the odd news. We'll come back. I want to replay a Matt Rule clip from you guys. I want to tell you in advance, though, this guy's feeling himself right now.
Oh?
He's out. This went under talked about from this last week. He's out there comparing himself to Ohio State. We're going to talk about this.
Hello.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Roofing, siding, and gutters. Make the right call with the rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Shop Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer group. Visit us in Blair, Crete, Fremont, or Wahoo, or shop at SidDillonChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
How do you celebrate the expansion of Lindley Clothing with the addition of Well Suited? Well, you have a BOGO 50% off sale. Right now, Lindley Clothing, buy one, get one, 50% off sale on suits and sports coats. Buy one suit or sports coat at regular price and get a suit or sport coat of equal or lesser value at 50% off. Now, the sale is going on now, but it ends with a bang on July 3rd. If you haven't been to Lindley Clothing, get there now and check out Well Suited as well. More sizes, more styles, more selection. In the Linden Market at 132nd and West Dodge, you'll enjoy easy access to Lindley Clothing.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Many people go back to the dealership out of habit or because they think the dealer is the only one who knows how to fix their car. At Omaha Car Care, we offer a better option. We have ASE certified technicians, the technology to service any vehicle, and free loaner cars. The dealer will sell you a package of services. We'll provide the service you want for your car as your trusted partner. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Cracklin' Kirk's huge grand opening sale is June 25th through the 27th. Let's check in with Craig from Cracklin' Kirk's to see what's going on.
All right, yeah, we have tons of deals going on for our huge grand opening sale. Rainbow snow cone, $9.99. Huge, beautiful fountain. We have 3-inch, 9-on-a-board racks as low as $79.99. You're not going to find that deal anywhere else. Big win. Our premium 7-inch artillery shell kit, $109.99. How about this deal? 4 assorted 500-gram cakes, $88.88. And we got some beautiful new fountains in this year, just $5.99 each. Check us out for all these great deals.
Now, those are incredible deals. Go check them out. June 25th through July 4th from 10 to 10 in Waterloo at 301 South Front Street, in Springfield at 102 Main Street, and GetKirks.com for all the specials and location info. Cracklin' Kirk's, giving you more bang for your buck for more than 30 years. GetKirks.com.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
All right, a couple comments here. Fremont Fred.
Hi, Fred.
I would eat a peanut butter and dog turd sandwich before sleeping in 88 degrees in my house.
It feels like a poll question, but I'm going to...
Yeah, we've already done one peanut butter associated question today.
Right.
Also, I like this. This is now... I think this has a different effect than Joel is aiming for here on Twitter. He says, I used to do 85 during the day and then 75 at night. Now I do 75 during the day and night and 66 in the winter. 85 during the day was rough. I'd sweat working in the office even, but it does save enough money to cover a night out. So if that's all that it's saving you for the difference between being miserable in your own home and not being miserable in your own home, I feel like we should have a decision. There.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I am happy to pay a premium price for my comfort.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, inside my own home.
Where I live.
Where I live there. It's mine.
A lot of the time.
It's mine. I have to like this. Yep. This is where I live. And it's going to be to my liking all the time. And I'll pay for it. Yes, I will. Max Olson will join here at the bottom of the hour. We'll ask him about what we're going to get into, also the College World Series here, as well as he had a chance to take some of those games in over the last week or so. I wanted to go back to this. So, like I said, Matt Rule had a long press conference last week, and we checked. Remember, we checked in on it on Monday or Tuesday when we were in like the fog of. We were coming back off of the weekend, or no, it was like Thursday, right? We were coming back off of the fog. I have no idea what day it was, and we kind of took the press conference live for a couple minutes, and then I went back and I watched it afterwards, and I had to like adjust my brain to being in Nebraska football mode.
He was really concerned about like West Coast flight, West Coast to East Coast, but
yeah, he said a lot of things
halfway through the country, and just really broke it down.
As Matt Rule does, he has a lot of takes on a lot of things, and so. He talked a little bit about recruiting and the way that they recruit. And I want you guys to listen to this and just let me know what you think about Matt Rule drawing a bit of a comparison on the way that they do things to another program in the Big Ten. Here is Matt Rule from last week.
And the only complaint I have is like, I think people think that this is like a Nebraska thing. You know, Sean was at one of the camps, I was talking to him. Ohio State brings in their top recruits to camp when they're a sophomore or a junior. But Ohio State sees those kids run fast and do whatever, and then they offer them, and then those kids nationally become like a 4 or 5 star, and it's like, well, they're vouched. Well, they come to Nebraska, it's the same thing. I want to see them too. And when we offer them, people are like, oh, well, Matt's recruiting diamonds in the rough. No, we're recruiting future NFL players. And so Ohio State does it, we just kind of say, well, that's what it is. We do it, it's kind of like, oh, they're diamonds in the rough. No, we evaluate just as good as anybody else in the country. And I think what you're starting to see, and you guys who talk to recruits, I know some of you, that's your world, they get an offer from us, and then they get a bunch of phone calls the next couple of days. And people are starting to get offers the next day after we offer them because people know we know how to evaluate. So I think the fact that we're willing to offer people, the belief our coaches have in their evaluation, and it's just a really good way to do business in my mind.
So one thing is clear. They definitely do have a lot of confidence in the way that they evaluate.
That was my takeaway from it is just the sheer confidence with which he said, no, we're taking future NFL players.
So there's a difference here. And I don't want to jump all over him too much. Like I love the fact that they believe in their evaluations. And we talked about this a little bit. Like we almost got to this topic yesterday when we talked with Sam. And when we spoke about the roster limits and how Nebraska's kind of building it right now, I think the truth of the matter is, like, not everybody's an NFL player. You have 145 guys in your roster, you have 150 guys in your roster, or 135 or whatever it might be. Like, I know they feel like they could develop anybody, but the truth is, Ohio State wouldn't take the majority of the players on the roster, especially guys.
Right. You're not there yet.
Especially guys you're not there. You're not gonna. You're just not there, right? So, especially the guys from 85 to 140. Like you're asking those guys to walk on, and I know how he's what he's saying is like, hey, if we're taking you, we believe in you, and we have a plan for you. And you can be an NFL player if you do the right things. And like, I love that as a message to send to your players as a coach. But he's absolutely shown the ability to take the under-recruited athlete and turn them into NFL players. But just to be crystal clear here, that is not what Ohio State is doing. Ohio State is not unearthing prospects that nobody else offers and then taking them and turning them into first-round draft picks. No. That is not the look of their roster. Like I said, to be fair to Rule, I think it's great at a program like Nebraska to be a developmental program and to say, we're going to have a plan for you and we're going to maximize you. But the truth is, even if you maximize some players, not all of them are going to be NFL players. And we are also talking about a difference between NFL players and like first round draft picks and all pros. I mean, it would have been too long of a research project to dive into this morning, but like, how many all pros do you think of NFL all pros have played at Ohio State, like for over the last 10 years?
I
don't know. I don't know the answer to the question. I would assume it's more than a few.
A dozen, 2 dozen?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Probably somewhere in that range. That sounds right. Maybe not quite 2 dozen, but like, right. They have dudes like that. How many all-pro players do you think have played for Matt Rule in his time of being a head coach? It's not very many. Right. I don't know if it is any, maybe guys that he recruited. But like, there's a difference between what they're doing. I love the fact that they believe in their development and they believe in their identification. And it's true that teams will come in afterwards and they'll say, oh, they got an offer for Nebraska. Like, let's take a closer look at this guy. But that is not what Ohio State is doing. There's like, nobody gets it doesn't happen where Ohio State's your first Power 5 offer and then a whole bunch of other Power 5 schools come in and offer afterwards. Like, Ohio State has the ability to be a little bit more reserved with their offers because their offer kind of means more. And they could say, yeah, you have now reached the standard of an Ohio State offer. Nebraska has to do it a little bit more this way. But make no mistake about it, it ain't anything like what Ohio State's doing. It's just not. And that doesn't mean it's worse. Like, Nebraska obviously has a worse caliber player than Ohio State does. I'm speaking in generalities at the moment. And if they get to the point where they're developing and they're recruiting and they're maximizing and they're doing all those things, like, maybe their results on the field will look eventually closer and closer and closer to Ohio State. But it's just a really tough comp to make because there's only a handful of programs in the country that operate the way that Ohio State does, and Nebraska is just not one of them. It's maybe one day they will be. Maybe
he's trying to get the same results, but doing it through like bargain shopping.
Right. Like if it's a good thing for Nebraska if Matt Rule can identify and then develop guys who are under recruited or 3-star recruits or whatever, like, and he wouldn't want to talk about stars, obviously. It's great for Nebraska if they could take player X and turn him into NFL player. But also you have to keep in mind, like, you know, for as much as people say stars don't matter, expectations do though. And if Nebraska's recruiting a 3-star player that nobody else really wants, and they're taking a developmental flyer on him and they turn him into an NFL player, great. But there's also going to be some players on your roster who they take flyers on that don't work out. Ohio State doesn't have flyers on nobody. They are lock, stock, 5-stars across the board. Like, that's their roster. That's what their roster looks like right now. So it's just like, I love the fact that they believe in their development and they, you know, if you're getting offered from Nebraska, there's a plan for you. And we believe if we're offering, the message is, if we're offering you a scholarship, we believe that you could be an NFL player. And I don't think that that's all that different from probably what they're selling at Ohio State. But once again, the expectation of kind of where you come from and the caliber of athlete that you are at the moment plays into that. And there's just a higher caliber player there. I just would rather probably not make that comp. That's all. That's just a small critique.
Seems small, but significant, accurate.
Nebraska is not, they don't have an Ohio State. Like, they're not going to have an Ohio State roster. Like, if we talk,
I think that's okay to say.
If we talk about Nebraska being a developmental program, and after 1, 2, 3 years in the program, you're going to maximize, and we think the version of you being maximized is turning into an NFL player. Understand how that's different from Ohio State offering a play. Like, nobody gives Ohio State credit for being a developmental program. But what he's talking about is when Ohio State offers, that's like the gold star offer, right? That means you're one of the best, you know, kind of dudes in the country, and you've kind of earned that. And
that offer is validation.
Rule wants to make it so Nebraska is that as well. But like, not everybody on Nebraska's roster, like, he has to know this. I love the idea of telling players, if you get offered by Nebraska, we believe you could be an NFL player. I love that idea, but he also has to know, in the same boat, that not every one of his 140 guys on his roster are going to be NFL players. It's like, in my mind, them Rule having this gigantic roster gives you a little bit more leeway so that you can take more guys and you can tell them that they are NFL players, and what they actually are long-term developmental flyer projects. Like, what is Ohio State going to go to a camp in Houston and offer David Hufkin, the German lineman? No.
I don't think they're going to look that hard.
The answer is flat no. And once again, a credit to Rule and his staff, like you just said, Josh, for looking that hard. And maybe Hufkin in 3 years at 25 years old is an all-conference player. I have no idea. Like, I hope that is the case. But it's a different kind of market of players, and it's a different way of not necessarily evaluating, but it's a different way of kind of developing. Like, Ohio State says, we're going to keep our roster tight. And if we have, I don't know how many guys they have in their roster at the moment, but, you know, we got 80 scholarship guys or 90 scholarship guys, and then like 110 10 or 15 scholarship plus guys, right? In the NIL era, it's I think that's actually a good name for it. Scholarship plus. Like
everything's plus.
Everything plus. What was the Big Ten? Flex Protect Plus.
That's right.
Right,
wow,
so,
I can't believe you pulled that.
Thank you. How's he pulling that? Flex Protect Plus. So it's like scholarship plus, and you want those 110 or 115 to be as tight as possible. And usually most teams in the country, especially the ones that are really, really good, will keep it right there, and it's competitive, and that's good. What Nebraska has decided to do is say, we're going to give ourselves an extra bit of leeway so that we can have 130 or 140, and those last 25, 30 compete to make the final 10 and be the scholarship plus guys and stuff like that. But make no mistake about it, inside the 140, they ain't all going to work. Like excuse is a bad word, but like, and it makes it sound bad. But in my mind, like having that big of a roster is an excuse to say, to bring in more players. And if you're telling people that if you get offered a Nebraska scholarship, then you are this, this, and this, and we believe in our evaluations, then that's great. But it's also not the truth. Like Nebraska doesn't have 140 NFL players in the roster. The best Nebraska could ask for is on any given roster is to have either like, we're talking about guys who are going to be in the NFL the next year or the next year or the next year or the next year, on their roster at a time. Nebraska can hope for, I don't know, 10 to 15, and you hope those guys are really good. Let's just not, like, Ohio State has 10 to 15 guys that are like going to be threatened to be first round picks and like all pros, that understand how it's a little bit different. And then it kind of, sequences down the line as well. So I thought that was an interesting comment there from Rule last week. And I, once again, super appreciative of the way that they like believe in their evaluations. But they know, like they have to know, there's not 140 NFL guys there.
But again, I like the competitive edge of saying it. Just like if you ask any NBA player, are you the best player in the league? Oh yeah, I yeah, one-on-one, I'd take anybody. Like, okay, yeah, he has to say that, but he knows he's not better than LeBron James or so-and-so and so-and-so.
I hope so.
I guess I like Matt Rule saying it, even though, come on.
Joel writes in.
Hi, Joel.
Nebraska's roster is exactly like Ohio State's if you bought it at IKEA.
Got to assemble it yourself, but, the price was right. And you got to take a fun little drive.
Yeah. That's actually a really good comp. All right. We'll be back. Max Olson will join us on the other side. We'll ask him about this, the College World Series, and college football at large when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
But here's the other thing that I've also come to a conclusion after eating in a restaurant the other day. When you walk in and they go, would you like a booth or a table? I am here to tell you, I don't mean to be mean about this. There is no one that goes to a restaurant where the booth is available that wants a table. There just isn't. And if they want the table over the booth, I'm very curious about who they are, how they're made up.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides from the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday afternoon with a high today in Omaha of 98 degrees and a heat advisory in effect until 7 o'clock, feeling as hot as 106. A chance of storms late this evening and tonight. Any storms that develop could become strong to severe with hail up to the size of baseballs, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and even an isolated tornado and localized flash flooding possible. The Missouri River continues to rise, expecting it to crest in Omaha on Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
The Connor Happer Show returns in minutes on 1620 The Zone.
Bigelow Fireworks, a Metro tradition for more than 35 years. Bigelow Fireworks has quality products for the best prices with a 100% product guarantee. More than 50 locations in the Omaha Council Bluffs area, as well as locations in Plattsmouth, Blair, and Fremont. Bigelow Fireworks offers the best selection of products in the Midwest. Cakes, artillery shells, and family-friendly products for all ages. There's no need to go anywhere else. Look for their signature inflatables or Bigelow flags. Visit BigelowFireworks.com for a full list of locations.
Fellow Nebraskans, we need your help getting signatures to finally legalize medical marijuana. We only have 3 weeks left. Get to our state's best liquor stores, wine, beer, and spirits today and sign. Support us at nmm2024.org to make donations. Let's go.
We are excited to announce the grand opening of Saul's Jewelry and Loan's new downtown location. It's a Saul's shopping experience like you've never seen in this beautiful, historic location. And of course, we brought in tons of new inventory, amazing jewelry finds at our famous best in town prices, motorcycles, tools, bikes, guitars. And as always, get a cash on the spot loan from $10,000 to $50,000. Everything you've come to expect from Saul's in our new location. 22nd and Hardy, downtown Omaha, Saul's Jewelry and Loan.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide cleans better than the leading competitive free detergent, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues.
Plus, Tide Free and Gentle has no dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on her skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after picking the clothes up off the floor.
Accomplishing goals is hard, but when your goal is to learn a new language, Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où?
Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks,
"How's your French going?"
you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
When you want to really learn another language, it starts with Babbel. Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
All right, welcome back. Connor Happer, Josh Hodson with you on the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com and on zonetv.live and on various other places. Max Olson of The Athletic joins us now on the 42 Degrees Thesaurus hotline. Hello, Max. Good to talk to you. How are you?
Hey, buddy. I'm good. How are you?
Good. How did you enjoy what? First of all, it looks like I saw a picture from outside from you last night. Why did you go out there?
I got a few texts from people being like, did they put you in some auxiliary seating or what is that? Connor, do you just think that you cannot waste a second among the peasants down in the stands? Like, what's your deal?
Yeah, that was it was It was
a hot night. And they gave us these like $15 little cards to go buy concessions. And it was like seventh inning. I went and got some ice cream, and I stood among the people and watched a little baseball.
I respect it. Is
that so wrong?
No, it's not. It's not. But the ice cream, how fast did the ice cream go away? What was the ice cream melting situation?
Yeah, the ice cream integrity was poor. That's for sure. It's a lot of quick. I mean, it was just transitioning to milk as fast as possible.
I respect the effort though. And
we had to take it down.
I will say, I imagine since you were outside, you felt the pressure that was building on Tennessee right after they got up 6-1. It was like, okay, all we need is like 6 more outs to get this thing done. And it just got tighter and tighter and tighter. It felt like as that game went on last night.
100%. I thought it was an awesome finals. Just all 3 games. Obviously on Sunday, that like the tension of that when it's 1-0 for so long, and you're just sort of one swing away from that game swinging, was a ton of fun. And then last night you kind of felt, even though Tennessee, hits the leadoff homer and looks pretty good to start, and I think they were nursing the 3-1 lead for quite a while. Like, you still felt like, A&M had a bunch of chances in the 7th, 8th, and 9th to, go tie it up. So, and then, you saw Aggies go get a couple runs late and kind of make things really interesting. So, especially with these are two great teams, but you kind of felt like by Monday, both of them were like, we don't know what we got left in the tank here in terms of pitching. So, it felt very very fragile on both sides there, and just a ton of fun. I credit to the Vols, like, obviously best offense in college baseball. Like, those guys really showed up when it mattered.
Does it feel like to you that college baseball is in a good spot right now? Like, you obviously don't cover it on the day-to-day, but people around here complain all the time about how, it's all the SEC teams and it gets taken over by that. I think that aspect has brought a lot of life to it over the last couple of years, and certainly we felt that over the weekend. Like, I'm totally fine with where the game is at right now, even though there's probably going to be less and less parity as we go along.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've definitely talked to some ADs in the past few weeks who are sort of like, it's probably not a good thing for the sport that the SEC and the ACC got all of the bids in Omaha this year, and that probably helps build a perception that those are that's like a power 2 kind of situation. And then obviously as we go into this future with the settlement, you're very curious, like, do those leagues kind of pull away just in terms of the way that they fund that sport with scholarships and stuff like that? Like, I think there's maybe a big picture, you kind of wonder about the future of the sport in terms of the health and parity for sure. But right now, especially with the way that, you saw, obviously A&M, that's a lineup that has a ton of transfers in it too, that they did a really good job of picking out guys that can help them right away, and grad transfers and stuff like that. Like, I think what you have in the short term are some pretty loaded teams. Some teams that are, of guys that are staying in school, or are not going pro out of high school, and just some very talented lineups and very talented pitchers. And I think the health of the game in terms of the quality of play and the quality of players that we saw in Omaha this year was a ton of fun. Like, yeah, if you're in the Big Ten, you probably look at the stuff a little bit differently, but I thought it was great baseball.
What do you think the likelihood that the Big Ten decides that whether it's the program wide or the conference wide, they're like, yeah, we could put some money into this and be competitive? Because they could, it seems. Obviously, there's some geographical restrictions that they just don't, they don't have the luxury of compared to the SEC. So that's always going to hold them back a little bit. But by and large, the conference has kind of just decided, this is one where we'll kind of bow out. The money's there. Have you talked to anybody who thinks that baseball or one of the other sports that isn't football could be a place where they could invest and make some ground up?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, obviously the climate piece of it, you can't really hey, we've come up with a solution for that. It is what it is. Right. And it plays into the way that recruits are going to look at schools and where they want to go. And, I think that even if a bunch of Big Ten programs recruit at a super high level, you still have to keep those guys out of the draft and stuff like that. But I think that the thing that's really hard, I think, for administrators and ADs and coaches right now is we just really don't know what the shape of the settlement is going to be. Like, when you talk to some, they're just sort of like, man, if this is 50-50 in terms of men's and women's, then that is really going to change the conversation around where the money is flowing for every single sport. And if that's not the case, if it's going to be 75% college football or whatever, and then we figure out, how to sort out the rest of the money. Either way, you're still kind of in a tough spot here in terms of what is the right amount of support for baseball and for scholarships in baseball. And I think that, to some degree that's kind of an institutional decision, but I think you're right. I think it also, as a conference, you got to kind of figure out, is this a priority to us? And what's the guidance we're given to a school in terms of here's how we want to, here's what we need to do to, stay successful and relevant in baseball.
I'm curious, what are the various approaches because we've seen a lot of ADs have commented on this, and most of the company line is like, yeah, I mean, we're not really sure what's going to happen, so we're just going to be kind of nimble right now and go, with whatever direction that we get. Is that the approach that you've seen kind of across the board from administrators and people who are just waiting for this? Like, are we in a holding pattern until whatever settlement comes down?
Yeah, I think so. I think there's a lot of there's a lot of speculation right now. And I think part of it is, I think there's a lot of curiosity about okay, how are they going to divide up the money in terms of the back pay to the former student athletes? Because I think that's probably going to set the tone for what they can do with current student athletes. And, I think when you talk to a lot of folks, they kind of feel like, look, I understand Title IX is important, but I don't think that people are people understand it's not exactly like the fair thing to do to treat this as 50-50 when obviously the football players are generating the television revenue. And so, if they try to go with that kind of approach of splitting it, then you would think that football folks will sue on that and try to get that fixed to adjust it to what their value truly is. Or if you don't have to go that approach and you can kind of treat it the way of these are the ones who are generating the revenue, then I think it probably is closer to 75% for college football. And then what do you do with the rest? What do you need to do in terms of equity for dividing up the rest of that money? So I think that, and then of course, when are we going to have the answer to that? I think it's for ADs. Yeah, you're for sure in a holding pattern. And I think you're going to see people kind of looking at their books and saying we maybe need to pause some of these projects because we just don't know, if it is 22 million or whatever it is, what do we got to do to fully fund that? And where does that money go?
Do you have any sense, speaking of when this massive change would kind of be coming down or go into effect? Because we've gotten, like you said, the kind of outlines for this and the general parameters, but not exactly how it works. But I think more specifically, when is the question that I think that comes into the forefront now.
Yeah, I think especially if you're like Troy Dannon and you're trying to just kind of get things figured out at this new school that you've taken over. You're sort of sooner than later would be pretty nice in terms of you telling me how we're going to do this. And again, I think that some of it is institutional decisions and some of it is you're going to lean on the guidance of Tony Petitti and the conference. But I think that it's going to be, I don't have a date for you, but I do think over the next, 12 months here, there's a lot that's got to get sorted out. And, maybe not to the satisfaction of all. We will see if will there be legal challenges to this stuff as there has been in the past. It's going to be pretty messy. And I think as much as I think people probably look at this stuff and say, look, this is long overdue, that they deserve to be getting a cut of the revenue and stuff like that. Obviously when it comes to college athletics, usually the devil's in the details.
We are going into Max, I think over the next couple of weeks, as we've now closed the book on the academic year for college sports. Now it's like the true off season, but we have this little thing that's going to happen in a couple of weeks, and they're going to release a football video game. All the conversation about the football video game that is going to come out in basically 3 weeks here. It's kind of warmed my heart a little bit. It's mildly annoyed me. How much content are you taking in as far as what the video game is going to give us?
Are you an Xbox or a PlayStation guy, Connor?
Xbox.
Attaboy. All right, good answer. Good answer. Are you getting a new one? Are you?
No, I've been here this whole time, Max. I've just been waiting for this day this entire time.
Yeah, I was the same way. I didn't buy a new Xbox until Black Friday, and I only bought one for this reason when this game was coming down the road here. In terms of content, I mean, we're going to be producing a ton of content.
I figured.
Athletic. I promise you that. There's been a lot of conversations about how do we cover this, but I'm a NCAA football or college football junkie when it comes to the video game. So truly this being less than a month away is insane to me. And I think it is going to be hard to perform my duties as a husband and father when that game drops. And we got a lot to figure out there.
Also as a very important player on the Jack Mitchell softball team.
Well, yeah, I mean, shoot, if the playoff run is still going at that point, I mean, you got a real conflict of interest there.
So, congratulations on your first round bye. How many games away from you are you a title? Until you have a title in your hands.
I think we're three away. And I gotta thank the powers that be over at the Parks and Rec or whatever that set up this bracket because I think we can all admit that we deserve to be in the lowest bracket.
Oh, I thought you were going to say deserve to have a first round bye.
In the lowest bracket, I think is a great sign of respect about what we have put together on our good days. And honestly, like Monday Night Softball is way more fun when you're just like playing teams that are on your level. So I'm actually pretty excited about what's ahead here.
I would definitely imagine that the Lincoln Parks and Rec Softball Association gave you guys a first round bye out of, quote, respect. I think that's definitely right.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's true. You put us in the 2 or 3 seed. I mean, what are people on social media saying? Like it's a firestorm.
So I'm just saying. Now we turn the tables, and we'll talk to another one of your teammates, Jacob Bigelow, here in just a second. But like there comes some pressure as being the number 1 seed in the whatever bracket you guys are in.
Oh yeah, I think the team we're playing next week, I think they just put up like 22 runs last night. So it's possible we are completely cooked here, Happer. But we're gonna go through this with the chin up and put on a brave face here.
Well, Max, it was good to talk to you. I told you at the World Series this past weekend, I'm no guarantees, but if I made my way down, I wouldn't want to scare you guys, but I want to see what's going on just to see if I've misjudged this entire situation. So maybe I make an appearance for the playoff game.
I think if you come into one game, you're going to be quickly hustling to buy a jersey from Triple B. You're going to be all about it.
Good to talk to you, Max, as always. Good to see you this weekend, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man.
Max Olson of The Athletic, also a member of the Jack Mitchell Weirdo softball team. That we'll talk about yet again in 15 minutes.
Yeah, they're really infiltrating this show here today.
Yeah, the problem is I like all these people.
It's a good group of guys.
It really is.
Likable bunch.
I don't know if they're likable together.
Some might say a lovable losers.
I like them. Now, once again, we'll talk about this with Jacob. It changes when you're the number 1 seed. There's pressure, there are expectations. You're the Tennessee of the worst bracket of the Monday night Lincoln Parks and Rec softball league.
But they are also tightly wound.
That's
like
true.
Tennessee.
A lot of people live rent free in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Jacob will join us at the top of the hour. We'll go back to last night here just for a second. I want to play you the Jim Schlossnagle line from last night regarding not anything about his team that made it all the way, 1 run away from winning a national championship, but about the Texas job. I clicked on, because I love a hot board, and we don't get many hot boards during the summer. I clicked on Kendall Rogers' D1 baseball hot board for Texas last night, and my God.
We all did, right? We all went
there. My God. So back with that and a little more next year on 1620 The Zone.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
When you shop local, you help strengthen our community. So if you need roof repair, gutters, siding, even windows, call local Pyramid Contractors. They're the #1 roofer in Omaha for more than a dozen years. Let Pyramid Contractors come and give you a free estimate. Give them a call at 402-502-9300. That's 402-502-9300. Or visit them online at
PyramidRoof.com. Never settle for less.
Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, previously located at 30th and Reddick and now at 30th and Willett in historic Florence, is still the way you remember it. Nachos, deep fried burritos, and those amazing cinnamon chips. Have a margarita or a cocktail. Open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays too. And try Ramona's out of this world 2.5-pound massive burger with cheese, lettuce, tomatoes, and pickles. Ramona's Mexican Restaurant. Stop in today. Follow them on Facebook for specials and news about their monthly musical bingo.
You know that dollar bill you've got stuffed in your wallet, purse, or pocket? Give it a little respect because it could win you millions. Lotto America from the Nebraska Lottery is here, and it only costs $1 to play. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. What's more, you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So unwrinkle that dollar bill in your glove box and play today. Lotto America top prize odds 1 in 26 million.
ZZ Top, the Elevation Tour. October 1st, Liberty First Credit Union Arena. playing all their classic hits.
ZZ Top.
On sale now at LibertyFirstCreditUnionArena.com or at the box office.
Car repair is car repair. Most places you go can change your oil or fix your brakes. The difference is the experience you'll get at Omaha Car Care. We're part of the community. We were born here, and we believe that our relationship with you should be built to last. We're going to consult you, not sell you. We're going to give you a free loaner car. We're going to treat you like a valued friend that we want to continue to see in the years to come. I'm Rick Betker, owner of Omaha Car Care, and we'll be along for the ride.
Are you the decision maker in your company? Consider this. For the first time in decades, there's a better option for a corporate card and spend management platform. Meet Ramp, the only corporate card and spend management system designed to help you spend less money so you can make more. Most corporate credit cards offer points as incentives, but those points amount to less than their worth in real cash value. Ramp's business cards offer you cash back, real money in your pocket. Plus, you control who spends what with each vendor. And Ramp software collects and verifies receipts automatically, which means you'll stop wasteful spending and close your books in hours instead of days. Businesses that use Ramp add up to 5% to their bottom line the first year. If you're a decision maker, adding Ramp could be one of the best decisions you've ever made. And now get $250 when you join Ramp for free. Just go to ramp.com/sports. Ramp.com/sports. ramp.com/sports.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank and Celtic Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
It's simple, Nebraska. Do the FAFSA.
No, it's not a new dance trend.
It's the free application for federal student aid.
That's money for college. Thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing.
Just 10 minutes is all it takes to apply for the financial aid you need.
With fewer questions and faster fill-out time, it's simple to see how much you're qualified for.
Go ahead, Nebraska. Do the FAFSA.
Get started at dothefafsa.org.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, a couple things here before we get to Jacob Bigelow. Josh, you like movies?
I do. I love movies.
How about Hallmark movies?
Not my favorite. Not my favorite genre, but I understand they have an appeal.
Have you seen many Hallmark movies?
Could probably count on one hand the number of Hallmark movies I have seen.
Can I interest you in a new Hallmark movie which will be released at an undetermined time?
Okay.
But it is a Christmas Hallmark movie.
Sure. I mean, today is the 6-month point to Christmas. We're 6 months from Christmas today.
It's called Holiday Touchdown.
Oh, football themed. I love football.
A Chiefs love story. Here's the plot.
Is this Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce?
It is not.
Okay.
Alana Higman is sure that her family's lifelong history as Kansas City Chiefs superfans makes them a front runner to win the team's Fan of the Year contest. Derek, director of fan engagement, is tasked with evaluating how Alana and her family stack up against the other two finalists. As the pair spends time together, it's clear that there's a spark between them, but when her grandfather's vintage Chiefs Good Luck winter hat goes missing, Alana begins to doubt everything she believed about fate, destiny, and even questions her future with Derek. Unless, that is, a little Christmas magic can throw a Hail Mary. What do you think?
I don't want to oversell this, but I'm all in.
That's not what I thought you were going to say. I thought you were going to say, I don't want to oversell this, but this sounds like the worst movie of all time.
She is going to... she's going to sleep with that man to win the contest.
Oh, yeah. But it's a Hallmark movie.
They're going to fall in love.
Yes.
I understand. She's not going to...
Yeah, if it wasn't a Hallmark movie, Derek would get fired for sleeping with the best fan possibility.
Really? You fell in love with one of the contestants there, Derek? seems like a gray area.
So this sounds bad. And great news is we're not at all overexposed to the Chiefs or things that happen surrounding the Chiefs in Chiefs universe.
You're gonna have to deal with the Kansas City Chiefs.
So do you think Mitch Holthus will be in the movie?
1,000%.
It's very possible. It's very possible.
You think they find that hat? Boy, I hope it doesn't show up on her doorstep Christmas morning with Derek.
I bet it has a happy ending, Josh. I bet it has a happy ending. Maybe in the Chiefs winning the Super Bowl.
Oh my.
And the young woman going to the game or something like that. Getting perks from her new boyfriend, Derek.
Her and her grandpa, Ed Begley Jr.
Who's that?
I think you'd know him if you saw him.
That is that guy.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. That's a good that guy. He is. First thing I thought of was the lawyer on Better Call Saul, Cliff Maine, right? Cliff Maine, I believe his name was.
Yeah, I'll take your word for it on
that.
Cliff Maine. Yep, you
Cliff
got
Maine.
it.
Cliff Maine.
14 episodes of Better Call Saul.
Yeah, that guy. That's a great that guy, actually. All right, very exciting. Like I said, it'll be good to learn more about the psyche of the Chiefs fan base because we don't know a lot about that. Number one being local, and number two, Travis Kelce existing, Taylor Swift existing, Patrick Mahomes and his family existing, Chiefsaholic existing.
I mean,
we don't have to. We're so fortunate we don't really get to hear about this team every day. So it's good that there'll be a movie surrounding its franchise.
Aaron's biological father on The Office, Ed Begley Jr.
Aaron's biological father on The Office. That's a good one too.
I mean, now that Taylor Swift has created a large swath of female Kansas City Chiefs fans, this opened up some new revenue avenues for the NFL, and this is clearly one of them.
Hallmark movies. Taylor Swift handshake meme Hallmark.
That's what the NFL thinks of you, ladies.
Very exciting.
Think about that.
I mean, you're actually kind of right, weirdly, because what's going to happen now is Chiefs fans are probably going to, whether it's ironically or not, watch the movie.
Oh, it's a hot garbage piece of cinema, but it will deliver the highest ratings in Hallmark history.
Yeah.
I don't know what that bar is. It sounds like it'd probably be a low bar, but
who makes a cameo? Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes.
Andy Reid feels right. It doesn't feel like Patrick Mahomes or Travis Kelce.
Can I interest you in Harrison Butker?
Aaron, you're at the game instead
you're
of
a woman
in the kitchen. Thought you'd be in the kitchen. Who's cooking dinner?
That's stupid. Women don't like football. You could never be the biggest Chiefs fan.
Your grandpa has lied to you.
A lot of possible options. Maybe Bobby Witt Jr. shows up in it.
Oh,
that'd be great.
Hey, I was playing next door and saw you guys.
I know. I'm trying to find a way for the Royals to capitalize off of this Chiefs fame, and it just hasn't happened yet. It's stupid. How do we get the Royals to be more mainstream?
They not be third place in the division right now.
Hey, they won last night. Couple things here before we get to Bigelow. Let's go to the press conference room at the Chuck Box last night and hear from Jim Schlossnagle. Jim, I got a question for you. It's not about the baseball game. It's about something else entirely. Here you go.
With respect to the difficult outcome tonight, but with the rumors circulating today about a specific job opening, what do you have to say about your future in Aggieland?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty selfish of you to ask me that question, to be honest with you. But I left my family to be the coach at Texas A&M. I took the job at Texas A&M to never take another job again. And that hasn't changed in my mind. That's unfair to talk about something like that. That'd be like you asking Montgomery if he's going to sign in the draft. But I understand you got to ask the question, but I gave up a big part of my life to come take this job, and I've poured every ounce of my soul in this job, and I've given this job every single ounce I can possibly give it. Just write that.
Coach, thank you very much.
And there he goes.
Is Montgomery going to sign in the draft?
Yes. By the way, takeaway. You think he's going to take the Texas job?
Didn't hear a no in there.
Oh man, if Schloss and company are still in town right now, I apologize. I know this is uncomfortable for you, but I saw nothing in there for me to be like, oh yeah, he's definitely staying at Texas A&M. Also, Jeff writes in, he left his family to take this job.
Yeah.
So he's gone through a divorce recently and moved away from his family. Yeah. I don't think he got divorced because of the job.
Yeah. Hey, we're moving to College Station. No, I'm not leaving Dallas Fort Worth to join that cult.
I don't know.
I'm leaving you.
I don't know what goes on in his personal life.
Okay.
I don't know what the conversations were like leading up to that, but I do know he's a bachelor.
Okay, it would be rude to speculate, but I do want more answers than I have.
So not much in there for me to be like, oh yeah, he's a lifer. He's a Texas A&M lifer.
But he said he took the Texas A&M job to never take another job again.
Originally.
He said the same thing about TCU.
Yeah. And he left TCU and that was hard. And boy,
it really worked out.
And the reasoning afterwards has been like, I didn't leave TCU because anything's wrong with TCU. I left TCU because I wanted a different opportunity. I wanted to do this. He could say the same thing if he takes the Texas job. So I did, like many others, click on Kendall Rogers' Texas coaching hot board last night. My God, the names on this thing are unbelievable. It is both of the coaches who competed in the championship game last night, Jim Schlossnagle and Tony Vitello. Eric Bakich from Clemson, who's got them in a good spot right now after coming over from Michigan. Wes Johnson, the former pitching coach at LSU, is now the head coach at Georgia and took Georgia to a super regional in his first year. Skip Johnson, the longtime coach at Oklahoma, who's taken them to a College World Series final. And Rob Vaughn at Alabama, who was at Maryland and, was known as a rising kind of star in the business and now has the Alabama job. He's 36 years old. That's all of the best coaches in the country, kind of. And so I did some looking last night. And what I found in my very, very elementary research was that Tim Corbin at Vanderbilt makes in the neighborhood. This is reported because Vanderbilt, I don't think, has to report. Reportedly in the neighborhood of about $2 million a year. So if Tennessee's pulling one of those guys from one of those jobs, what are we talking here?
Oh, you're
$4 or $5 billion.
Yeah,
for a baseball coach.
You're gonna have to deal with the Texas Longhorns. They coming.
Yeah. Now, why would you? Whoa! Now, why would you? Are you okay?
Didn't get there quick enough. I'm sorry.
It kind of blew up in my ear. Now, why would you leave Texas A&M to go coach at Texas? Well, Texas is historically probably the most notable college baseball program of all time. There is that. And if they're coming to you offering $3 and $4 and $5 million a year, I don't know, just that's speculative. Then it is a pretty clear message that they will give you whatever you want. And that's what coaches want, right? Like, coaches just want to be supported, whether it's NIL endeavors, whether it's in their own salary, whether it's in facilities, or the vision in which they want to build their baseball programs. They want to have all of their options open. And obviously the sell from Texas would be, yeah, you can come to Texas and you could build it however the hell you want it, because your credentials say, here's the reins and we're going. And his credentials say, if he was the head coach at Texas, they'd be in the College World Series next year.
Yeah.
They were in his first year at A&M, and they were in the final in his third year in A&M.
This feels like a pretty open and why wouldn't you entertain the idea? I mean, I believe it was this year. It was this year or last year. The Texas Longhorns baseball team had insoles in their shoes that said University of Texas at Omaha.
It is they fancy themselves as being the most historically relevant program. That much is for sure. Mm-hmm. Here's what Kendall wrote on Schloss. As they say, go hard or go home. This would be a great hire that would send an incredible number of ripples across college baseball. His outstanding relationship with Texas's AD, Chris Del Conte, we work for at TCU, of course, is something not to be taken lightly. So because of that, I'm not close to ruling out the Schlossnagle possibility until Jim himself makes his intentions abundantly clear, of which he did not do last night. Sources close to the situation have indicated for the longest time that Schloss would not consider the Texas job unless the Aggies bungled their stadium renovation project. That project, which was originally supposed to be around $80 million, has had, I'm told, more than $80 million in pledges secured. The Aggies also have a robust NIL program, and getting premier players to A&M has not been an issue. Here are two more things to consider. This is just an opinion, Kendall writes. If it is Schloss, why would Texas and Del Conte leak out that Pierce was fired on the day that his soon-to-be head coach was playing for a national title? That would make zero sense, even given the rivalry aspect with A&M. The other aspect of this potential candidacy is just the current situation Schloss has at A&M. The Aggies are playing for a national title tonight and could very well be preseason number one again next year. Again, there are reasons for him to make the move, primarily his relationship with Del Conte, but the timing seems to be suspect. Time will tell. One interesting financial nugget on Schlossnagle: should the Horns land Schloss, A&M would be owned between $3 and $4 million from the Longhorns in buyout money, not including his actual salary. And then there's a couple bits on Vitello and the other guys as well. But as you said, Josh, Texas, they shoot, man.
They're coming to the SEC, and they want to let you know that we're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
It's so funny in these conversations now. They're more about who has if you were a coach at that level and you've proven that you could win, especially in an SEC baseball program, and somebody's coming after you, it's not the money. It's you have to prove to the coach that you have your bleep together. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
They want to be more so than the money. They want to work in stable working environments, and they want job security, obviously. But they want to be able to have some leeway with the athletic department. They want to have NIL support, but basically to tie it all together, they want to go to a place where you got your bleep together. And so enter Trev Alberts, right? To be the guy to put Texas A&M in a situation where they appear to have their bleep together. Can he be that guy? As Texas A&M, or as Texas rather, starts their plunge down searching for a baseball head coach. It's very interesting. A lot of different stuff going on there.
And then the dominoes of who does A&M go after?
Oh boy. Indeed. Let's see. Bruce writes in quickly.
Hi, Bruce.
Guys, listen to A&M's the A&M coaches take. Is anyone else really sick of coaches being rude to interviewers? A la Pelini, brother Bruce. Thank you, brother Bruce. I get it. I mean, it's part of the deal. It doesn't reflect well, but not everything you say does. It's really okay.
I mean, he is. I actually understand this.
I get it too.
He is there to.
I get it too. You don't have to call out the reporter personally for saying hey, that's selfish. You don't have to do that. But I don't think anything was so far over the line in that. All right, quick timeout. A little late getting to Jacob Bigelow here. He'll join us on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
At Cox Mobile, we know you're smart. You brush your teeth in the shower to save time, make coffee ice cubes for your cold brew, and wear goggles to cut onions. You also added Cox Mobile. So smart. Now you're running on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability and saving on your Cox internet. It's ingenious, just like you.
Aw, thanks.
Cox Mobile, the smart way to mobile. Cox postpaid internet required. Cox Mobile runs on the network with unbeatable 5G reliability as measured by Ookla LLC in the U.S. to age 2023. Other restrictions apply. Learn more at cox.com/mobile.
Hey, you hear that? That's the sound of loose change in your pocket reminding you to buy a 99-cent medium pound drink from Casey's. So the next time you hear this, you already know where to go. 99-cent medium pound drinks. It's not crazy. It's Casey's.
News Talk 1290 Coil is your radio home for Omaha Storm Chasers baseball, proud AAA affiliate of the Kansas City Royals. Tune in to hear every pitch, every hit, and every out as the Chasers play at Warner Park and across the International League in 2024. With the voice of the Omaha Storm Chasers, Nick Batters, on News Talk 1290 Coil.
Tune in to 1290 Coil all season long for your Omaha Storm Chasers baseball as they take on the International League. It's Storm Chasers baseball on 1290 Coil.
I'm Ryan Osted. Golf is great because it can be whatever you want it to be. If you want to go out and have a competitive 18 holes, you can make it that. If you want to go out and have a scramble and just have the time of your life, if you want to have a charity golf tournament to raise money for some great cause, you can make it that. It is flexible to be whatever you need it to be at that particular moment in your life. And I've needed golf to be different things at different points in my life. And I'm certainly thankful that I was able to learn the game as a kid and continue to play it now as an adult.
Play better, have fun, and shop Osted's.
Did you know that radon is the #1 cause of lung cancer for non-smokers and that our region has some of the highest levels in the country? Radon Defense Midwest can test and fix your home. Visit radonradio.com for an exclusive offer for 1620 The Zone listeners. That's radonradio.com.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Tickets for less. Best seats, best prices, no service fees. Shop ticketsforless.com. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
He's heating up. That's the country song, right? Remember when?
Thank you. Jacob Bigelow.
Yeah. Whenever my open is concocted, throw that in there.
He's on fire! Jacob Bigelow, Huskers Illustrated, on the Connor Happer Show, on 1620 The Zone.
Boom shakalaka!
All right, we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline by lover of all things Omaha, baseball, sports, celebrities, Jacob Bigelow. Hi, Jacob.
That's me. What an intro, Connor. I am a lover of everything. That's the rousing intro that I missed so much. With not having the Connor Happer Show in my life last week, but I'm happy to be back.
Hey, people always say, or Josh Peterson anyway says, that I love sports the most out of all the people in his life. I don't know, man. You might love sports more than me. You're out there tweeting about the College World Series. It's 150 degrees. You're out there. You're like, this is great for Omaha. This is great for college baseball. I don't know. I think you're giving me a run for my money.
No, I think the combination of us, we may be the disgusting brothers when it comes to loving sports. I think the two of us, I think we're pretty neck and neck up there. But I think that's a pretty apt label for the two of us when it comes to the love of sports, for sure.
Dude, so you went to I'm scrolling through some tweets. Did you go up Old Rosenblatt Way a couple days ago?
I did. I had the realization that I hadn't been over to Stadium View, which I felt horrible about, being somebody who grew up here. But I had the realization that I'd never made the pilgrimage, and I went over there the morning of game one, talked to Piv, had a beer, and had a little, history lesson, and it was really nice. And I, of course, had to, spend a little money on some stuff, but
Nice.
it was good. And then did the sad walk around what used to be the Diamond.
It is so sad. I stopped doing that. I haven't done it in several years now because I didn't find it to be very enriching for my mood. Like I didn't find it to be all that fun. And so I'm glad that you had the same realization that I did.
No, I completely agree. It's not, you're not going to be like feeling all rosy after you go do it. That's for sure. Unless even if you're going to do it before you go, just sweat your ass off at the zoo for multiple hours. I don't really see many scenarios where you go walk around there and you're like, I feel great. I'm happy. Like it's pretty depressing, to put it lightly, but I hadn't been up that way in a while, so check that box, and don't know if I'll have to do it again for a while. So,
hey, so what did you think of the move? I was curious to get your opinion on this, of Tony Vitello stage diving into the crowd last night as a guy who loves concerts as well, stage diving into the crowd. I actually really liked the move, and I just saw the picture pop up of him getting the Gatorade bath and then chomping on the ice afterwards. I thought that was the best thing he did last night. What'd you think of Tony V after the game?
I'm all in on him. I'm all in. I know, I get that he's not for everybody, but I'm all in on him. These last couple, these last couple weeks of the Tennessee experience, him in Omaha, everything that comes along with Tony Vitello. Of course, my only problem is how a guy who grew up in St. Louis ends up being a Cubs fan. But other than that, I'm kind of all in on Tony. It's people are like, oh, it's corny, oh, it's over the top. I think that's just passion, and I like coaches who college sports needs characters. It's a similar conversation to when we were talking about Hurley, toward the end of basketball season. Like, college sports needs characters, and right now at the top of the mountain in both college basketball and college baseball, there are two genuine characters who, honestly, I'm all in on both of them.
I don't know if you need, I don't know if this is what you need as well, but they have a potential villain rating of very, very high. Also, as we were just talking about before we got to you here, Texas baseball on the prowl for a new head coach. Their potential villain rating goes all of this stuff, even though it all kind of happens in the, inside of the walls of the SEC, we get to experience a little bit of that for a couple weeks every June. And now all of a sudden I'm into it. I want to hear the SEC tea. I want to hear the SEC drama. It's kind of funny how it works that way.
Absolutely. For at least a couple weeks in Omaha, the tagline of it just means more. Sure seems to apply the most to SEC baseball, right? All the drama and the behind the scenes. You want to talk about welcome to the SEC, Trev Albert. I would be a fly on the wall yesterday, seeing the news come out of Austin and all the, the rumors, around Schloss and all that. That's, the A&M Texas dynamic is already, it was already, dialed up, but Texas coming back to the SEC, that'll turn it back up to 11 pretty quick. And then, we'll see what happens with that coaching search. But yeah, SEC baseball is going to remain spicy for the foreseeable future. That's for sure.
All I can think about is I cannot think of a single scenario where a Big Ten baseball coach makes $2 million or $3 million or $4 million. It's impossible. And then it just makes me sad every time, because this is the environment that we have to live in.
How about a Big Ten program spending $80 million on a baseball stadium?
I know
that. Is that even more?
I know.
What sounds more out of this world? But it's a you'd like to. A&M they were a wagon for most of the year, but Trev got there and he still found a way to get one of them facility surveys sent out. So
he did. He loves surveys.
Find something you love as much as that man loves suits and facility surveys, but he still found a way to get that that's sent out midway through the year, and that'll be one of his talking points with Schloss. Hey, I sent out a survey. What else do you want me to do? There's money. I sent out a survey. What more else can I do?
80 million bucks. How many Haymarket Parks would that make? Like 4 or something like that? I don't know. I don't know how much they built that thing for back in the day, but it was probably not that much.
Yeah, no, it's that's no $600 million for a football stadium, but it's still a nice little chunk of change for baseball. And that Bluebell Park, I mean, that's already a baseball palace, down in College Station. So with some added improvements, I can only imagine them taking that place to the next level.
So quick search here. Haymarket Park completed in 2001 at a cost of $29.53 million, which equates to about $51 million of current day money.
Okay. Well,
compare that to your 80. It's odd.
Yeah, compare that to 80 to polish up a palace, not completely redo it. So yeah, that's quite the comparison for sure.
Yeah, it's a little bit different over there. Hey, I wanted to mention this since you sent this to me yesterday. Shout out to McDonald's. Jacob sent me this tweet and it made me so happy. Josh, have you seen this? McDonald's is ditching its drive-through AI ordering system after too many customers wound up with totally incorrect orders, like a handful of butter, hundreds of chicken nuggets, and ice cream loaded with bacon.
No, I have not seen this nor heard about this.
Makes me exponentially happier than I was before I read it. Jacob, would you like to comment?
That's an enormous win for the human race. I feel like there was no better theater for discourse on the McDonald's drive-thru than 1620 The Zone. So I figured you guys would approve of that message, and it's a giant win for the humans in the battle against AI.
Also, you accused Jacob. You accused Josh Hodson of writing a Barstool headline yesterday. Which would you like me to read it to you, Josh?
Please, yes. What was I doing last night?
I don't know, but let's just see if this sounds like Josh Hodson. Indiana lets their hillbilly flag fly by building the first ever above ground pool in a football stadium. Indiana lets their hillbilly flag fly by building the first ever above ground pool in a football stadium.
Great take.
And no mention of cocktail sauce even, but still on the nose.
Amazing.
For Indianapolis.
Yeah, thank you for bringing these things to my attention. I appreciate it greatly.
It's one of the few things I'm good for. Just another thing to add to the list of things I love. Just sharing the news of the world. That's a laundry list. Things I love, but that's on there for sure.
Any comments on the Jack Mitchell weirdo softball team getting the 1 seed and now having an immense amount of pressure to win a championship?
Glad we didn't have to play last night. That's what I'll say for sure, because much like Tennessee, we would have been out there in black jerseys in the sweltering heat. So, not looking to make excuses, but glad we didn't have to play last night. 3 games. We're 3 games. We're 3 games away for sure. So the pressure is definitely on, and I'm excited to get back to it on Monday night.
I definitely wouldn't want, people these days talk about the effect that social media has on athletes. If I were one of you guys on the weirdo Jack Mitchell softball team, I wouldn't want to be on social media if I didn't win the championship. That's all I'll say.
Yeah, I completely and totally agree. I'm gonna, I won't go full deactivate, but I'll definitely go uninstall. But then I'll have to, face the music, not once but twice on these fine airwaves. Once the season comes to a conclusion. But don't want to speak any ill will into existence. And I'm excited for these last couple weeks.
All right, Jacob, great to talk to you as always, my friend. And we'll do it again next time.
Sounds good, Hap. Appreciate it. Like always, have a good rest of the week, fellas.
Jacob Bigelow of Huskers Illustrated, the Stretch Big podcast, and just general man of Omaha.
Pressure creates diamonds.
Hopefully, in their case, or it could crush.
It'll do one or the other.
It's one or the other. That's it. And more often, it crushes.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's not the case for the
Jack.
I really hope that's not what happens to the Jack Mitchell softball team.
There's only one scenario. This is like Avengers Endgame. There's only one scenario where this ends well for the Jack Mitchell softball team.
Dr. Strange meme incoming. One. Coming back, our writers have cobbled up some baseball reaction overreaction here.
Hello.
Let's just do that quickly.
Okay.
And then we'll get out of here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
I opened up my fortune cookie last night, and on the front it says, here you could download a bunch of music. And then on the back, there's a QR code for Napster.
Yeah, fortune cookies used to be fun, whimsical. At the end of your chicken fried rice, you're like, boop, boop, boop.
Boop, boop, boop. That's exactly what I did
we had
last night.
Chinese the other night. I don't think we ever got fortune cookies.
Even worse.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast presented by Funplex Water Park and Rides. From the KETV Newswatch 7 Weather Center on 1620 The Zone.
Mostly sunny to partly cloudy skies for your Tuesday afternoon, with a high today in Omaha of 98 degrees and a heat advisory in effect until 7 o'clock, feeling as hot as 106. A chance of storms late this evening and tonight. Any storms that develop could become strong to severe, with hail up to the size of baseballs, 70-mile-per-hour wind gusts, and even an isolated tornado and localized flash flooding possible. The Missouri River continues to rise, expecting it to crest in Omaha on Thursday morning. I'm meteorologist Caitlin Harvey with KETV Newswatch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620, The Zone.
You know that dollar bill you've got stuffed in your wallet, purse, or pocket? Give it a little respect, because it could win you millions. Lotto America from the Nebraska Lottery is here, and it only costs $1 to play. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. What's more, you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So unwrinkle that dollar bill in your glove box and play today. Lotto America top prize odds 1 in 26 million.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Watching a ball game at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is pretty awesome. Oscar's offers the MLB package, so your team is always on their upgraded audio-video system, and nothing is better than watching the game with a cold frosty one, Oscar's Pizza, or award-winning char-buffed wings. And with daily lunch and dinner specials, it's really a no-brainer. So get ready to watch your favorite team play ball at Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill, 173rd and West Center Road, and takeout at 162nd and Maple.
This is Protection. Yep, Protection. The everyday skin protection ritual that protects your skin from mosquitoes. Pre-barbecue. Pre-playground. Pre-everything. Pre-every day. Prevention is the best protection. This summer, make sure you have OFF, the #1 dermatologist recommended repellent brand. SC Johnson, a family company.
Something amazing is happening in data management. Even though storage needs are constantly changing, companies are only paying for what they need now. That's because CDW customized a Pure Storage Evergreen One SLA-driven storage as a service solution that delivers enterprise-grade hybrid cloud storage that is effortless, efficient, and evergreen. Simplify storage administration with Pure Storage and CDW. Make amazing happen. Find out more at cdw.com/purestorage.
It's simple, Nebraska. Do the FAFSA.
No, it's not a new dance trend.
It's the free application for federal student aid.
That's money for college. Thousands of dollars for classes, books, and housing.
Just 10 minutes is all it takes to apply for the financial aid you need.
With fewer questions and faster fill-out time, it's simple to see how much you're qualified for.
Go ahead, Nebraska. Do the FAFSA.
Get started at dothefafsa.org.
When it comes to concrete repair, Everlevel has some serious game. Coach Greg McDermott here to coach you on why you should choose Everlevel Concrete Repair. They've got the fundamentals to fix your cracked and uneven concrete, and their products will give you the best defense against future damage. It's a fraction of the price compared to replacement, and their solutions come with a long-term transferable warranty. Working with Everlevel is a slam dunk. Call Everlevel Concrete Repair today for your free inspection.
All right, let's do a quick little baseball reaction, overreaction here.
Put the Riders back to work.
Yeah, you got to do something. You had the last couple of weeks off. You've had it easy. So, Riders, what do you have for me?
We begin with, let me pull up their takes here. Take number one. The Cleveland Guardians are a certified wagon, and we should all concede to their inevitable dominance.
Riders, you're putting me in a very difficult position here. So I don't know how they're doing this. This doesn't really make a lot of sense.
It really doesn't. They got,
unless you believe that Stephen Kwan is Ted Williams and he's the best player on planet Earth.
I do not.
He's hitting what? Is he hitting right at 400 right now? He's down to 389. Where's the Luis Arias tracker on him, by the way? I don't know. But he's hitting well. All these rookies, they have like 6 guys who I've never heard of in their lineup. They just hit. And of course they pitch. And somehow they are 24 games above 500. Are 8 games clear of 2 other pretty decent teams in the Twins and the Royals in the AL Central. Baseball is a game of averages, and the law of averages would make you believe that they are not going to win. I mean, what are they on pace for? Like 110 wins at this point? 50 and 26. So 50 and 26. So 50 wins through 76 games. We're just 4 wins. Yeah, it's basically 105 wins right now. That's nonsense.
They have a plus 105 run differential, and I know what many of you might be thinking. Oh, they're just beating up on the White Sox. They are 3-4 against the White Sox this year.
I don't get it. I don't really get it. They also didn't they just get done losing to the Marlins a couple times over the 3-game series? Like, I don't know.
They've won 6 in a row.
Yeah. Anyway, once again, my baseball brain paused 2 weeks ago.
They lost 1 game to the Marlins in a 3-game set.
Okay,
a couple weeks ago.
They beat them 2 out of 3 a couple weeks ago. Like I said, a couple weeks ago. That's why my brain stopped. They're gonna win the division. They're gonna. They're gonna
8-game lead right now.
They have the 3rd best record in baseball at the moment. They are not a threat to win the World Series.
I couldn't imagine them to be.
Okay.
Take number 2. The Padres will be the suitor that lands Garrett Crochet.
How very Padres of them,
right?
A player is available to be traded for. Let's trade for him. He is definitely the name that's out there the most on the market. Like, he is the most coveted name probably on the market.
Padres hold that last playoff spot right now. 1 game above 500.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be them. But as happens every year, and we're seeing a lot of trade deadline, kind of like primers today as we gear closer and closer toward the All-Star break and toward that. There is going to, like, every year we pretend like somebody's going to overpay drastically for back end of bullpen relief help,
right?
And they don't.
No.
They don't have to, because that nobody bids that high from. Like, you're not trading a top prospect for 3 months for 3 months of late inning relief help to potentially get into the playoffs. You're just not, like, it's too risky of a proposition.
We always talk ourselves into it right about this time, and then we go, oh yeah, why would anyone do that?
It's another horrible disadvantage of being a crap ass team like the White Sox. You're not going to get anything back for guys who are actually good.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me, I experienced this for several of the last 10 years. Like, you're not, like, I know you got dreams of like trading away late stage Eric Hosmer or Whit Merrifield or whatever it is. You don't get anything for those guys.
No,
it's not how it works. Sorry. Don't be bad. That's my lesson.
Take number 3. We go back to the trade deadline. Well, I'd like to see a little variation next time, writers. The New York Mets will now be buyers at the trade deadline.
It would be so classic. It'd be so classic if they were.
It would.
So they're
game and a half out.
They're game and a half out of a playoff spot right now.
The grimace streak.
Yeah, really brought them back to life. Here's the thing: everybody's in the playoffs.
There are only 2 teams in the NL that can't think about the playoffs.
So for those teams that are like in the neighborhood of 500 and probably aren't going to contend for a World Series, but certainly can, contend for a playoff spot, like your most likely course of action is to try to improve your team without jeopardizing anything going forward, right? And so maybe this is worse news for the teams that aren't the Mets, who were planning on grabbing Pete Alonso or something like that.
Right.
Which, maybe it's more likely that they hang on to him now. Maybe it makes him more likely that he'll re-sign with the Mets this offseason. But I don't like buyers makes you think you're going to go after one of the main guys that's on the trade market. And I don't think those teams are in that conversation. The Royals, by the way, are straying way too close to that mark. I don't like it.
Half a game out of the playoffs right now. The Cubs are 3 games out of the playoffs right now.
Yeah, they're horrible.
They have the 13th best record in the National League.
They're horrible. Yeah. I mean, that is a bad baseball team.
Take number 4. Clayton Kershaw will not return to Major League Baseball.
So he had a blip on the old rehab here.
Blip. It's being called a blip.
That's what they're calling it. I mean, he'll be back. I mean, he's never going to be Clayton Kershaw again, but he'll be back. So this is an overreaction, but
feels like it.
Yeah, he will return, and we'll have to have at least one Clayton Kershaw send off, and he deserves it.
Absolutely.
Nick gave me a random Reddit topic this morning, and he named 5 guys. I think the 5 guys were
topic alert:
Kershaw, Greinke, Scherzer, DeGrom, and Verlander.
That's right.
Those were the 5 guys, and he was like, which one of these guys had the best career? And I'm like, Kershaw. Then he was like, which one of these guys had the best prime? And I said, maybe
different question.
You could make a case for all of them, probably DeGrom. I don't know. DeGrom before he is nonstop been hurt for the last 2 years was unbelievable.
I have the best memories of Verlander. Like, I think of Verlander as like this. There was a stretch there where he was just the guy,
Yeah. Oh, I mean, a long stretch. Longevity plays in the hands of Verlander and Kershaw for sure. I want to see Clayton Kershaw pitch again. I'm continuing to listen to the Clayton Kershaw audiobook by Andy McCullough.
He seems to be the kind of guy that is like, no, I will get back there for, even if it is for one game, for everyone to say goodbye, send me my flowers.
He has begun to seemingly understand that he is a human, and can't put his body through the same things and stuff like that. But yeah, I'd like to see that again, at least a couple more times. I mean, how old is the guy? He can't be that old.
I feel like he's played for 20 years.
He's only 36.
He has not played for 20 years.
Verlander's 100, and he's still rolling.
Kershaw will get back.
Yeah.
Last take from the writers. Jack Caglione will be on a big league team on June 1st, 2025.
I see what you did, writers. This is not really MLB overreaction. It's baseball. Baseball. No. Overreaction.
Why? I don't necessarily disagree with you.
I think there is an element of there's an element to his game that is still very. Now, I don't know that this is verifiably raw. Like, I don't know that it's verifiably raw because you don't know how really raw a guy is until you put him in a big league kind of environment. You know, the guy can clearly hit and he's going to be able to hit, but you feel like he's done a lot of the damage that he's done at the college level out of, you know, I mean, with help from the metal bat, obviously, and he's just bigger than everybody else, you know?
Tiny baby ballparks.
In tiny baby ballparks. I think that probably, you know, helps him as well. Not that he's not going to be able to hit. He can hit. He should never pitch again, but he can he can hit. Don't when you draft this guy, don't tell him that he's a two-way guy. Just have him go play first base and you're good. He certainly looks the part. That's just quick. That's all. I'm going to play the odds on this one.
Feels a little quick. Yeah, I don't feel like he is as good a hitter as Paul Skeens as a pitcher.
And he's not even going to probably be the number one pick.
No, he'll be top
5 or 4. Yeah. Maybe he falls to the Royals.
Hello.
And he's hitting dongs at the K next year. Who knows?
Right into the fountain because the Royals will never move.
People forget about the fountain. Thank you. All right. Thank you, Riders, and thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Riders. Thank you, Connor.
Baseball, reaction, overreaction. Back with the polls. Tell you what to watch next on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
Funplex asked an AI assistant where you find ultimate summer fun. And, well...
Funplex, Nebraska's largest water park and rides, now with the brand new spinning, tilting Wipeout. Tasty treats, special events, private cabanas, and more. Probability of unforgettable fun, 100%. Funplex is the best choice for an all-in-one day of summer excitement.
So, see you at Funplex then?
I am a language model.
Yeah, fair enough. Get your human tickets at fun-plex.com. Let's go!
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
The only downside to Taco Bell's Cravings Value Menu is having to decide. It's got 10 different favorites for $3 or less. How do I choose between the super beefy cheesy double beef burrito, the crunchy loaded beef nachos, the pillowy 3-cheese chicken flatbread, or the... I don't have time to list them all. I'll have to go to Taco Bell and try them. The Taco Bell Cravings Value Menu. 10 items, $3 or less. At participating U.S. stores while supplies last. Contact store for participation, which varies. Tax extra. Double seasoned beef compared to the Burrito Supreme.
Host is roasting every morning. Host is roasting every day.
At Host Coffee, every cup of coffee served comes with a promise. A promise of quality, innovation, and a dash of fun. Ensuring your workday is as delightful as your coffee break. Call Host Coffee today.
Proudly serving Nebraska since 1972. Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/radio. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at HIMS, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/radio and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free. With zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
To the polls at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed.
Plenty of them today.
When presented with the opportunity to stage dive, do you have to take it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Right?
How
often do you get presented?
Agree with Tony Vitello's decision making last night. Yeah. 57% say yes. After all the pot got out, did it smell like funnel cake? Yes.
I'm told it did, yes.
57% also say yes to that. Bring back Big Ramp, yes or no?
That's a Connor Happer take right there.
Yes. Give me Big Ramp. 68% say yes to that.
Really?
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised by that too. Was the Mac the cat's pajamas? Like the Mid-America Center?
That's a Nick Hanley take, and the answer is...
He said the cat's pajamas.
No.
It was not. 62% also say it was not.
Okay. We learned a lot about our area arenas in the morning crossover today.
I'm actually interested in the results of this one. Are you team stand up and shout? I am.
I'm not.
Stand up and shout. Yeah, I'm in. 61% say no.
Ooh.
Can olds get after it?
Nah.
Yeah, sure. Of course they can. 63% say yes.
Really?
Yep. And finally, which is weirder, peanut butter and American cheese microwaved for 20 seconds or Gary keeping his house at 88 degrees in the summer?
This is easy.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure it's easy.
No, I actually think the peanut butter and cheese is weirder.
It's sandwich.
Yeah. Although they're both pretty odd.
Mm-hmm.
71% say Gary's house.
Wow.
Gary's hot house. It's hard to argue with either one, whichever way you responded.
Right. I guess my decision wasn't easy, but like
I don't feel bad about whichever one I picked.
Yeah.
Those are the polls, Josh. What are we watching?
We got baseball on our TVs tonight. Something special happens when the Yankees and Mets get together, Connor.
Oh, the Subway
Series.
The
Shades
series.
Clemens versus Piazza.
Remember when he threw that bat at him and almost killed him?
Definitely wasn't roid rage at all. 6:00 on TBS. Garrett Cole on the bump for the Yankees. Nats Padres 8:40 ESPN Plus. A's Angels 8:40 your MLB TV free game of the day. Cubs Giants out west also at 8:40 on MLB Network. A little bit of leftover college baseball on SEC Network tonight at 6:00. They will air this afternoon's return to Knoxville for the Tennessee baseball team.
Oh.
So if you're
baseball,
if you're not quite ready to be over the College World Series, there's a little bit left over tonight. WNBA on Amazon Prime tonight, 7:00. Minnesota Lynx and the New York Liberty in New York. One game separates these two atop the W standings. I'm sure you're all very aware of that.
Mm-hmm.
And tonight, Connor, 7:00, ABC, clear the board. It's CMA Fest.
Oh, a country music awards show.
Yes.
For the first time in nearly 3 weeks.
Big and Rich, Luke Bryan, Little Big Town, Leonard Skinner, Post Malone, Blake Shelton, Keith Urban, Lainey Wilson, and hosts Jelly Roll and Ashley McBride.
It's always the same people,
it always
too.
is, are amongst the 25-plus performers tonight for yet another gathering of country music Illuminati.
Oh, my gosh. So that, yeah, we need to actually start keeping track of all of them so we can just see. Yeah, there's at least 7 a year.
There are.
At least 7 a year. Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's what we're watching tonight. That's the show. If you missed anything, 1620thezone.com is where you can find it. Stay tuned to find out if our refrigerator explodes. The crossover is next.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hi, I'm Nick Bermel, owner of Royalty Roofing. The recent storms wreaked havoc on our community. Our team at Royalty Roofing is here to help. We're local, skilled, licensed, and bonded. We work for you to ensure you get the funds you deserve and make sure that the work is done to your satisfaction. Don't take risks with your biggest investment, your home. We are Better Business Bureau Integrity Award winners and Best of Omaha winners. Cover your roof with Royalty. Visit us today at royaltyroofing.org.
The Nebraska Lottery presents 5 reasons the dollar bill is so great. First, it's always there when you need it. You can always find one folded up in your pocket just waiting to get you out of a jam. Second, it's humble. It doesn't strut around like a 50 or 100 waiting for people to compliment it. Third, it works hard. Whether you need more money for a tip or extra detergent at the laundromat, a dollar bill sure comes in handy. Fourth, it beats lugging around 100 pennies. And fifth, you can use it to buy a Lotto America ticket from the Nebraska Lottery. Lotto America only costs $1. It has a $2 million starting jackpot with drawings every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And you can add the All-Star bonus for an additional $1 to multiply any prize won. So visit a Nebraska Lottery retailer today and buy a Lotto America ticket. Ooh, sounds like someone tried to pay with 100 pennies. So sad.
Lotto America top prize odds, 1 in 26 million.
Hop into the driver's seat of a new Ford truck or SUV now at Baxter Ford. Choose from hundreds of new Ford F-150s, F-150 Lightnings, F-250s, and F-350s. Baxter Ford has over 250 new SUV models available, including Bronco, Bronco Sport, Escape, Edge, Explorer,